Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Saturday night. You're on Saturday Night Special Time, the podcast that's like when your pee burns after that weird one-night stand that you had. We got a lot of fun stuff that we got tonight. We've got a special guest with us. We got Lori Calcaterra talking about her new book and all the cool stuff that she's doing. We've got our top 5 war movies. We've got our anime.
We're giving it to you with both barrels.
We've got Chainsaw Man talk. We've got Aaron Carter talk. We've got so much to go over tonight. It's going to be a ton of fun. So get back, hang out, and let's get this party started.
Warning. The following video contains material that some viewers may find harmful or could be traumatizing to some audiences and doesn't reflect the opinion of Renovision. Viewer discretion advised.
Welcome, everybody. It's Saturday night. Stoked. How's everybody doing? How was everybody's Halloween? I gave out candy and comic books.
I didn't get a thing.
It really was cool. It was, what's up, Patrick? What's up, TK? We got, I did it a few years back, and I had like 8 long boxes out for all the kids to dig through and pick whatever they wanted. And I got egged during while I was doing it, but so I didn't do it the next year. But this year I was like, you know what? I'm just going to hand out comics again, because if I can get a few of these kids reading comic books, then it'll be a lot of fun. So what I had stuff like I had Superman, Flash, Teen Titans, Wonder Woman, Something Is Killing the Children, the You and Me.
That's good for Halloween.
Porcelain. And so
did you get eggs? Is that what you said?
A few years ago I did, yeah.
They threw them at you while you were doing it?
Yeah, I was handing out candy, and I said, if you guys want a comic book, feel free to take a comic book.
Damn, I thought it was a house.
These kids went through and they dug out a few comic books and stuff. They took like 4 steps and they turn around and they just start.
Man, I would have kicked their asses. I don't care if they're kids.
Man,
I was so mad. I had just bought my Volkswagen GTI that year, and they hit it, and now there's like these egg scratches in my car that are like these. I was so mad, but this year was cool because there was nothing. It was really what was the best part about it was when the kids were between like 8 and 11 that were picking out the comic books. They'd pick them out and they'd go, Mom, that guy just gave me a comic book. That's the coolest thing, you know. And like
the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, so it was pretty cool. A lot of people were excited about it. I only had one kid come back and went, I got Wonder Woman. Can I trade it? And I was like, no, no trade backs. I let you pick out your own book. You know what I mean? Like
it's
you
free.
picked out. And I was like, hey, Wonder Woman's an awesome title.
He's like, but I found a gun in my book. Somebody hit a gun in my book.
So it was a lot of fun. People were, I was sitting there giving out candy, comics, drinking mimosas. It was a good time.
That's awesome, man.
Heck yeah.
I like your shirt today, Kyle. It's about time you go.
You guys
matchy.
Oh, I didn't get the memo.
Are those free or what?
They're free if you pay for them on the website. So, anybody do anything cool for Halloween besides me?
I walked around with my kiddos through the neighborhood, and they picked up collectively. There's quite a few of them, so they picked up collectively about 30 pounds of candy.
Oh, dear God.
Ish, what did your son do for Halloween? What was he dressed up as?
He was dressed up as Spider-Man. He had a little costume parade at his school. So, remember he's in preschool. So it was pretty adorable. We had one trick-or-treater show up, knock on our door, and it was our neighbor, and that's it the entire night. So
and he egged you.
Kind of wasn't much of a Halloween for us.
That's a bummer.
Nobody egged me. Nobody toilet papered me.
We put a sign on the door that said "No candy." Ran out, and
you got toilet papered
going,
and
motherfuckers. They ain't got no candy. This is some bullshit. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, these are kids coming to the door. Sound like grown men.
And gals.
Hello.
I got it. One more thing I got 2 more stories I'm going to tell, and then we'll get into our interview. How's that, Laurie? Does that sound good?
I'm good. I don't got to go nowhere.
So
I'll hang out.
I'm going to tell everyone.
Oh, hey, did anyone get fentanyl in their candy?
Ish, you son of a. He's telling a story. No, nobody had fentanyl in the candy.
If you did,
I'll take it. If you did, we need to get that off the streets.
I did open one.
That's what I'm collecting. Everyone's fentanyl candy.
That'll kill you.
Yeah. So if anybody opens a bag of Skittles and they're all blue, let me know.
That's not a myth.
Ooh, that's on my list. I need to see that one. My husband watched it without me. I was like, what the?
Yeah,
they're all
promoting it as Justin Long's new movie, and they won't tell anybody what it is. And then it's like, you show up to the theater, you're like, "What the hell is this?"
What did I miss? I click a tab and then I miss something.
So I'm gonna give everybody a little story that adds to my haunted house. So Laurie, for you that don't know, most of our audience knows, but my house is haunted.
Ooh.
And what one of the spirits here, particularly that likes to do, I think it likes to hide stuff from me. It used to really like to hide my watch. But yesterday, like these glasses right here, I got home, I took them off. I always take them off, and I have a huge stack of comic boxes next to my bed. I took them off and I set them there, down just like I normally do. I just set them there. When I woke up from my nap, I always put them on down like this, and so when I woke up, they were this way, and they were completely taken apart. So there's screws in them, and then they were taken out of the screws were out, and they were taken out of the things. And at first I couldn't find the screws. It's sitting on a white comic box, so it's it would be, if they're little black screws, you would see them. And I was like, what the hell is going on? I was like, that sucks. I don't even know how that happened. And then like an hour passed, and I look again, and the screws are sitting there, back next to my glasses.
Dun,
and I was like,
oh, that's creepy.
So I had to put the glasses back together. But because Sam and I do another show called Thresholds of Reality, where we talk about the paranormal and Bigfoot podcast, and all these different things on the boundaries of what's going on in the world. And this is how we figured that the spirits in my house are actually like camera shy, because I had set up cameras to try to capture them for show content. And as soon as I set up these cameras, my house went dead quiet.
Weird.
And now that I've disconnected these cameras, everything's starting to slowly come back.
They're picking it up. They're turning into poltergeists.
How old is your house?
It is it's not that old. It was built in the late 80s.
So did something happen in the house before you moved in that you know of?
I researched.
Just Kyle moving in.
That was it. Yeah. They must have
backpacks the ghosts in.
Kyle's the lightning
they
rod.
literally hang on to him.
I'm kind of an empath, so I think they kind of just.
They follow you.
He's like a kangaroo. He carries them all in a pouch. Follow him.
So not like poltergeist, but like paranormal activity. I see.
They bitch about the electricity bill.
I wish they'd chip in on it.
Or they don't like this lights on. I remember him saying something about that.
No, that was a different place.
Oh.
That was a different place that the ghost didn't like the lights on. So, how was your Halloween, Sticks?
Turn the lights off.
Pretty good. Quiet. We don't do much trick-or-treating anymore. My kids are out of that phase, and so we just sit home and watch movies and enjoy the quiet.
Quiet? They don't ring your doorbell?
Why does that not surprise me?
No.
So, that sounds like fun. Well, Laurie, we're glad you're here. You want to tell our audience why you decided to hang out with us tonight?
I'd like to know too.
Hey, Joe, how you doing?
Because we asked you to. We asked
you. No one's
this was our
asked me
idea.
why. I mean, I like coming on new shows and talking about comics and meeting new people, and yeah, that's it, right? That's it. So
Yeah.
I'm a big comic nerd. I do martial arts. I got into comic book writing because I was actually choreographing fight scenes for a production company in Detroit, and then they asked me to write web content. So that's how that all started. I ended up writing a full-length movie, which turned into Path of the Pale Rider, which is the comic book that we're producing right now. So it was too big for the production company. It's probably like Netflix level. Like if we were to produce it, it'd be like it's that big. So I was like, I can't obviously afford that. I don't know how to pitch to Netflix. I don't want to lose my creative rights. So let's do the comic book route. So learned how to do that. Started in that in like 2020. So I wrote the story in 2018. And I just want to say that because people, when you start seeing stuff that like happened in 2020, I wrote this before that. Just throwing that out there. So issue number one.
No.
Yeah, no, I mean like the whole concept of this story is it's a world where death is broken. So your body can die, but your soul doesn't leave your body upon death. So you get to hang out and enjoy your own decay phase. Your brain literally rots in your skull. So we get people that are chaotic, they're forgetful, they're violent, they're detached, they're all over the map, right? Just depending on how you died and
can you move?
What you're going through. What's that?
Can you move? Or you
you can move. You're still yourself. So you're like you're a zombie, but you're not craving brains. You're not eating people, but you're
not on the floor like hearing the TV and wishing your body was a little to the right.
Right. It'd be like you could die in your sleep and wake up and not realize it and go to work. But then like you start forgetting people's names. You know what I mean? Like, who are you? Oh,
that's kind of fucked up.
You know?
I'd be pissed if I died and I didn't know and I got up and went to work. I'd be so mad.
People be like, what's wrong with you? You know what I mean? You look ill. You know what I mean?
Dude,
it's
you
like,
died
your heartbeat. But it's not just people, it's animals and insects and fish, and like nothing dies anymore. We're all kind of stuck here. So this world has devolved back to the Wild West. We've had famine and riots, government breakdown, and all sorts of ethical crazy things have happened. And that's kind of like when you see the riots and you see like the government issues that are going on, it's like, I didn't make anything new. I'm just looking at what's happened to the human race in the past and kind of basing like how people would react if this happened. You know what I mean? So in this issue 1, here's some of the variant covers, by the way. So it's a 10 years into the apocalypse. We're following Jude St. Clair and him and his horse, Prince, and they're in the wild and they're still looking for the answer to the question, why do the dead no longer die? So you get to see him kind of like going through the dilapidated infrastructure and like the technology that they wear that amplifies their heartbeat so they can tell if they're living or undead. You know, he has quiet moments where things are beautiful and he still appreciates. And then, of course, it's immediately interrupted by danger because that's the way this world is. So
let me ask you some story details. So,
yeah,
it seems like is the resistance to just ceasing to exist, is that categorical, meaning it happens to everybody, or does it only happen to a percentage of the population? Because it seems like if everybody is not dying, you'd have a pretty crowded society.
That's what it is. Okay, so it's like one day death was working fine. The next day death was broken for everyone and everything.
Okay.
If it has a heartbeat, death is broken.
So find death.
So we have overpopulation. We have famine.
Overpopulation is an interesting approach to it, because I would think that the primary problem with overpopulation is not just the space that people take up, right? It's the resources they consume. So
you're not consuming after you're undead, but you're still a problem. You take up space and you become more chaotic.
your guts fall out. People don't want to change your diapers.
Like the bathroom.
Or they just don't know what to do with you. Like, what if you become violent? Like, so our undead are mostly like dementia. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
terrible thing that people go through. So they forget who you are, or, you know, someone who was docile is now swearing at you and violent. So it's like, it can hit us all differently.
It was like the guy at the bus stop when I was at the red light yesterday.
He's just standing there. I don't want to move.
Right, you could forget what you're doing. You could, as an undead, if you're driving a car, would you forget that it's important to be living and just run people over?
Depending on the car. I think
it happened in this, you know, universe. So it's like the undead become very dangerous, and then the government starts passing laws and then separating the two communities, living versus undead. That's when the riots start happening. You know what I mean? So it's just there's some really ethical questions. Like Ish has kids, I know, because he just changed a diaper. So if you were undead,
that was my diaper.
Oh, that was your diaper. If you were undead and they came to collect you, what would you do? Because now your kids are by themselves.
Okay, so are the undead conscious?
Wow.
Yes.
That's a good question.
Okay, so if they put it together that they've died, then there's a possibility that they would be able to act on that information. Yes. But if their brain decays to the point where they don't know, or they can no longer act on it, then it's just they're out of luck. Their consciousness kind of fades away.
You don't let a horse babysit your children.
Right. I mean, eventually you could become a vegetable, but it's like you still don't get to leave. Like you could be a pile of bones and you're still technically here.
Yeah, there's a lot of really interesting implications from that premise, from that setup. One of the things this reminds me of is I did a D&D campaign, and one of the villains was this rancher who basically used zombies for slave labor. And he, in order to keep from getting bit, he removed all their lower jaws.
Yep.
So they didn't have any lower jaws. And that was how he controlled them. And it's like, okay, well, this story is a little bit different. Doesn't sound like
Joan do that too.
Joe doing that's funny.
Hello.
That's funny. Hello. But we get compared to, like, of course, Walking Dead. I mean, everybody sees Walking Dead whenever they see a zombie comic book, but
Black Mirror-ish, I kind of think.
I would say more like Book of Eli or Mad Max. Definitely Fallout. Like, we're following a guy who's scavenging things, him and his horse. He does stupid stuff. He's just a regular guy. You know what I mean? And then check out this undead bear.
Do you follow Doctor Who at all?
I do not. That's one of the things that's on my list. People are like, "How can you not?" And I'm like, I just haven't.
Are you a big Fallout fan?
Mm-hmm.
So my son works at Goodwill, and he calls me yesterday, Dad, because you work at Goodwill, you can't buy stuff from there.
Right.
It's like the rule. He's like, you got to get down here and buy this thing for me. And I was like, what? So it was.
It's freaking Pip-Boy.
The Pip-Boy.
Yes. They made a few of those where you could put your cell phone in it and it functioned. Like you just had to download an app or a font and your cell phone. Yes, my brother has one of those. It's so cool. It's wearable and it functions with your cell phone. So cool.
He's like,
did you go get it?
Yeah. It was $12.
No brainer. Go get it, right?
Yeah, I went. I jumped in my car and I drove down there for him and got it. And he was like so excited, and I was like, "The fuck is this thing?" And he was so excited for it. But yeah,
Yeah. Fallout's a great game. I love it. It's like between that and Red Dead Redemption. That's basically what this comic book is with zombies thrown in. But it's just we got so much more. Like we have all sorts of Easter eggs. Like in this scene right here where Jude's talking to this family, he's just asking for water and directions. So this is like the most dialogue we get in the entire issue. And the first thing he says is, "I'm looking for Santa Claus." And the lady's like, "Aren't you a little old for that?" And he's like, "Not the legend, the town. For those of you that are in Arizona, there is a town called Santa Claus." I'm sure you know that.
I've lived here my whole life and I didn't know that.
Really?
You didn't know that?
It's there. You got to go take a picture for me, man. It's on my bucket list to go to Santa Claus and take a picture with the sign now. So anyways, he's looking for the town of Santa Claus. He asked this lady for some water, and he's asking for a person. He's looking for this guy named Dwayne Fink. And she's like, "I don't know anything. I don't know any names. I don't even know, the name of the town. There's a town up on the bluff, but that's all I know. Like all the names are gone." She goes to get him some water, and he's talking to this little girl who's wants to give apple to his horse. And Prince has this star on for her forehead, and he tells her this little secret. Prince's full name is actually Diana Prince. And he named her after a warrior woman that protects the human race. So in this world, Jude reads Wonder Woman comic books.
Yeah.
So I have stuff like that in there. Like they say stuff like, I really, I've been feeling about this, like Star Wars, like later on, he has this moment where he's like, "I'm too old for this shit," and like Lethal Weapon. There's all sorts of stuff. Like I've put in all sorts of inside jokes and Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and Indiana Jones, and you know what I mean? Like I pay homage to all the things that we used to watch growing up. So
it reminds
it's in
me of
there.
Soma. Have you ever heard of Soma? It's a game.
Yeah.
About the robots that like people are actually their minds are put in robots, but they don't know it, and they just continue their job. And like they find this dude's like trying to find his way to like they're trying to upload his consciousness to the web up in space because the Earth's apocalypse. Well, everybody's robots, but nobody knows it. Like
That's
they're just
crazy.
going. Yeah, it fucked me up pretty bad. Like I watched the playthrough and I'm like, oh my god, this is insane.
Oh, it's on the way to Vegas.
Oh my goodness. That
yeah, I was just gonna say I just looked up Santa Claus, and every time we drive to Vegas, it's just right past Kingman.
Oh, that's funny because
Santa
look what
Claus,
Jude picks
Arizona.
up. He picks up this glass that has a map of Las Vegas.
I know
You did
I'm
your
stopping
homework.
on my way to Vegas in a few weeks.
You did your
Yes,
homework,
I do
Laurie.
my homework. I do. There's so much in here. Like if you guys look hard, like Jude St. Clair, St. Jude is the patron saint of lost causes, right? So here he is on this lost cause of trying to figure out what broke death and how to fix humanity. Path of the Pale Rider. Pale Rider is the fourth horseman of the apocalypse, which is death. He who sits upon the pale horse is death. And it's kind of like the path of death, or like death is missing. So, the further you look into this book, there's more layers. There's so much. Everybody has a name that means something. So if you figure out, the history of that name, you'll find out more about that character. I put a lot into this. So
is the so I'm looking and noticing the lack of color. Is that because it give away story or?
No, it's because printing in color and paying color page rates is more expensive than paying black and white.
Okay, you mentioned the Pale Rider, and then I was thinking like, okay, so if
we actually are striving to hit color, but of course, I'm the writer and I'm kickstartering. I have to pay my artist the full page rate. So
well, you mentioned augmented reality, and I wasn't sure if that was part of the it might give away some story or some like answers if you did it in color.
We really would like to do color, but I mean, take a look at this page that Marco. My artist name is Marco DeFillo. So if you ever hear me say Marco, that's what I'm talking about. But he does wonderful work in color. It's just that most Kickstarters when you see them are run by the artist who does not pay themselves.
Yeah.
Right.
So they're not paying themselves a page rate. So when you see those like $1,000, $2,000 Kickstarters for comics, that's because they're not paying themselves. They're paying for the print, the ship, the merchandise. So my Kickstarter is 50% more because I have to pay my artist a page rate.
Yeah.
So our Kickstarter goal is like 4,550. Now our first Kickstarter, someone doesn't like the name Marco.
He's the guy who runs the channel around here. His name's Marco.
He's
He lives outside of Detroit. That's why when you were saying Detroit, I was waiting for him to pop in because
he's our local sheriff.
The Detroit bell went off.
Yeah, I was born in Belle Isle. I grew up in Farmington Hills, lived in like Novi and Northville area before moving to Texas. We're in Prosper, which is like an hour north of Dallas. So that's where we are now. But yeah, Michigan's my stomping ground. All my family's there. Like I got good times there. I'm really glad I'm not there for the snow. I hate being cold, so I love North Dallas weather compared to Michigan. Also, you can drive in Texas, which is amazing because in Michigan, it's like you either have construction or snow, and there's nothing in between. So you can never get anywhere on time because everything's under construction.
Wow.
That is my rant. Thank you for attending my TED Talk.
You want to switch to issue 2?
Yeah, let's do that. So issue 1, we published in July of this year. We did a Kickstarter in April. We ended up 116% of goal. We fulfilled that in July, beginning of August. So now we Kickstarted issue number 2. And we ended 113% of goal. And so we're looking to fulfill this one before the end of the year. And then we're going to move on to issue number 3. The whole first arc is 13 issues that are already written. So at this point, we're just catching up. You know what I mean? Like I'm still writing arc number 2. I'm like 9 issues into that one, but we have so much material. It's like, there's no reason that we have to stop. It's just starter, get the funds, take the next one. That's kind of like, you know what I mean? That's where we're going. So this is Marco DeFillo's A cover, which I love. It's like Jude stomping on a dude, bloody, coming up, smoking gun, and then the bear in the background with this dude. So he likes to tell a story with his covers, which really makes me happy. Here we are in the town of Santa Claus. So he's not a nice place. They don't treat undead very nice. I mean, and again, it's our undead are conscious. So, I mean, these poor people are just like shoved on spikes and hanging in the street. And panel 3, they're using one for like signage, like this way to the bar kind of thing. It's like, really?
They still get on social media.
Yeah. It's like, really, that sucks. I'm not going to read this whole thing. Basically, he gets into the bar. The bartender's like, we're impressed that you're even here because we know there's a bear that lives on that road. So you have to have some pretty powerful reason to be here. And he's like, I'm looking for this guy named Dwayne Fink. I've been looking everywhere for him. He's like, oh, it's your lucky day. He's right over there. And then, of course, here's Dwayne Fink, this guy he's been looking for as the town drunk. And this posse of people is kind of like goading him on, asking him questions about the Man of Gold and the Fountain of Youth and like all these weird urban legends. And they get him drunk and he keeps like spilling his beer and saying crazy things. I don't know if I'm missing a page. Anyway, what the heck? Sorry. Apparently I put it in here twice.
Floppies, larger trade paperbacks, or they square bound length?
They're floppies. They're traditional 24 page. Yep. What do they call that? Staple. Saddle staple. Yep. Oh. So 80-pound cover, glossy, and black and white interior. So
nice.
Yeah.
No acetate covers.
No. We did do a metal cover on this past Kickstarter, so you can get Marco's 8 cover as a metal. That was one of the options, which is really cool because I haven't had a metal cover before, so I'm looking forward to that. But I love this page here where it's like Dwayne gets all freaking upset because they're goading him on. They're telling him his bullshit, and he like says stuff about the wrath of God, like spills his beer on the same dude and then falls off the freaking table. And then of course that last scene is like the bartender like, are you sure this really important guy that you're looking for is Dwayne? And Jude's just kind of like, oh, yep, that's him. Things I got to do to get information. So who knows if we can trust Dwayne? What information does he have? What does Jude have to do to talk to him? Because now he's tossed in jail. I don't know. We'll see. This is a pretty Western feel issue. We got lots of good stuff in here. And did I mention that I used to choreograph fights?
All right.
Yeah, you said you coordinated fights for the Detroit Lions sidelines, right?
Well, Detroit Lions. There was a film production company called Coattail Collective.
Oh.
So
I heard Detroit.
Like the Lions? No.
He's just trying to tell a joke.
Yeah, I'm in.
They can't catch the ball neither. So, what else I got? I love this cover.
I like that cover. Yeah, I like that cover.
This is our Christmas cover. Hooray. It's the Charlie Brown Christmas tree covered with zombie parts.
That's good.
Yeah.
So do the heads talk? Are the heads there? Like, even if they're dead, like I'm trying to gauge, like, can they be half of a person and still be alive?
Yep.
Okay.
Ask me more questions. I love answering. Yes.
I'm just thinking, like, so could they do like a what's that? God of War type deal and hook a head to their pants buckle?
Yep.
And carry it around. Okay.
Yep.
How about
later on in the story, we do have a head that's a character.
Okay.
If their body
I've got a lot of questions.
If their body gets separated into parts, do all the parts retain their life, or is like the consciousness just in the head?
No, it's in all the parts.
Okay.
Which can get crazy.
Yeah, that can be. But
it's like if you think about it, like when you're eating meat and the meat is moving.
No one can kick me off YouTube.
Still
yeah, that was one of the things I was wondering about. Is like when you eat meat, it retains its life. So then, but it can't like recompose itself, right?
No, it can't recompose, but it's definitely still moving while you eat it. So that burger is still moving.
What?
Yeah, so it would just be
that's
like
bullshit.
It's just like muscle like tensing and flexing and stuff.
Yeah. Yep. So that's why I was like, there's a whole slew of problems that's created by death not working correctly. It's like, hey, can we even butcher a cow because it's still moving? If we're able to do it and you grind it up, do you even want to eat it because it's still moving? It's like, that's just disgusting. So then we have, we're all vegetarians, but then the insects don't die either. We can't use pesticides to like get them to stop. And no, they don't have to eat, but they're probably not smart enough to tell themselves not to. So then they're eating all the crops, and now we have a major food crisis.
But it doesn't matter because you're not going anywhere.
I mean, I don't want to be an undead. That's me. But I definitely think in this world, people watch zombie movies, so they're like, "Oh, you're undead. Let me just shoot you in the head, and then it will stop." And they shoot them in the head, and basically, it's like they just become more chaotic because they have less of their brain to utilize. So it's like eating McDonald's. Speaking of McDonald's, oh my gosh, where is it?
They're tonight's sponsor. No.
Are they? We'll come back to this stuff. So one of the things that I do in addition to the comic book is we do like a fan experience. And so there's two things that we do. I write riddles.
Oh, let me make your screen bigger so that you can show everybody an example of that.
You want to see the riddle? I can't leave it up for long because people have been solving it.
Well, okay, never mind.
So this is the issue number 2 back cover, which is the riddle. So you have to decipher what this says. And then once you figure out what it says, it is a riddle. And if you solve the riddle, you got to send your name and your answer to that email. And it triggers something to happen. So you actually will get something in the mail from one of my characters. So if you know what I mean, like you get to interact with the actual world like it's real.
Yeah, it's like Little Orphan Annie sends you the decoder ring.
Right, exactly. So it's like we're gonna have fun. It's like my last one was a red reveal. Here's what it looks like. So this is the back of issue number 1. So this is the riddle, and I have actually the key is on the inside. So getting the physical copy. If you want to solve the riddles, you should get the physical copies because that's where.
Let me see if I can do this.
In Biggin.
Yeah.
This one. So, like, I wrote a crossword puzzle on the inside, but I also, like, if you see stuff from me that's keys or like skeletal fingers that are pointing, I like to write messages to people in blacklight ink. So this one right here, this piece of cellophane, when you run it down the edge of this is called a red reveal. There's letters in blue that will pop out. It's kind of like the old 3D glasses where you're seeing the blue and the red. You know what I mean? You see things in 3D. So this is just filtering out the red and then the blue pops out. So it'll give you directions of where to go to there's a separate fan group for the people that solve the riddles and they get bragging rights.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Like a treasure map.
Yeah, it's like a decoder ring. It's like old comics where it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love that. So, but I have plans for like phone numbers to call and websites to hack and videos where we show you how to hack disks and like hacking into the CDC where you can see government issued videos, podcasts that are like buddy cops. We have all sorts of stuff planned coming soon, but we just have to get there. You know,
is there going to be like a mysterious Tinder profile at some point? I think that would be really good.
I'm not on Tinder.
Swipe right on the undead Tinder profile, and then
oh my god, that would be so funny. We'll have to make a video on that. That'll be funny. Because that's the other thing that we do is we make short films. Anyway, so let me just show you a couple things. We have Funko Pops. Like the guy that did these did an amazing job. But yeah, like the Kickstarter just ended. I had a few people order these. They're a little bit more pricey because obviously they're custom made. But yeah, we have Funko Pops. The next one that's coming out is the Undead Bear. We got all sorts of stuff. I wrote a choose your own adventure story. So if you like this world, you can put on the boots and the hat and go through this 60-page story where you can experience what it's like to run bounties in the wasteland like the West. So I wrote this little thing and like we have some really gruesome deaths in this book.
Man, putting together, I did a choose your own adventure slideshow for a Comic-Con one time. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of work because those branching paths, they just multiply endlessly. So
yeah.
But just know anything you do with Sam's panels, the rules can be broken.
Yeah. Mine's
bitter.
pretty it's pretty difficult. Like you can die on page 2. I was trying to see. Marco did a cover for it. It looks like I didn't put it in here, but it's on the Kickstarter page, so I'll show you guys. But Marco's art is fabulous. The interior of the Choose Your Own Adventure is done by another artist named David Rodriguez, who I've used for variant covers and some other stuff. Just amazing work. He does really good gore. In fact, he's like, I need to take a break from doing gore, Laurie. I'm like, I'm sorry. It's just funny to me. Let's see.
Very nice.
Oh, this is one of the T-shirts.
I know that one. I know that one.
Do you know what he's saying?
Creed. I've seen Creed. Bullshit.
So that's one of the things that Jude St. Clair can do is he understands American Sign Language. He is hearing, he's not deaf, but someone in his life was deaf. So one of the things that he does is he will swear at people with his hands unbeknownst to them. So some people like Sam and myself knows what this means, but other people do not. It means bullshit. But since we're introducing the sign language in this issue, that's why like the T-shirt is in, and then the riddle. So you know what I mean? So it's like we're kind of doing that. But you'll see sign language pop up in the story. It's mostly swearing. So it's like we have a sense of humor about it.
Well, you know, anytime you learn a language, the first words you have to learn are the swear words.
That is the "You've Been Eaten by Locust" page. Yes. It's instead of dying of dysentery, you've been eaten by. Look, it's like you're getting the very deadly version of Oregon Trail.
Yeah.
In fact, we've been talking about doing a game that's based off of Oregon Trail in 8-bit with Path of the Pale Rider. It would be hilarious. It's like
That
you're
would be
dead.
fun.
You're dead.
It'd be real fun. We would
this
love to
cover?
play that on stream. That would be amazing. We'll
This
swipe
one-
right on the Tinder profile and play Path of the Pale Rider on stream.
Oh, it's a fun time. Is on your page? Gotcha. Yes.
This is the Kickstarter page.
Yes. So that's another variant cover that was done by Rich Parada to ink for Marvel and DC in the 90s. This one is by Ken Salinas. If you're familiar with him, he's also a Texan, and he does this style called Voodoo, which is super popular. And he will take your character and draw it as a voodoo doll. There's the cover for the Choose Your Own Adventure. It's a spread cover. Just amazing. I wish we could zoom in on it, but it's like a guy in a horse shooting a zombie. This, the brain's coming out. Oh, wow, you can zoom in. Amazing. Like the chick on the car, she's shooting the gas station. There's just like flaming zombies flying everywhere. It's like there's a Target truck that's getting blown up, and 7-Eleven is getting blown out of hell. Marco is he has a really fun sense of humor. So it's a fun ride. It is.
So, are you still looking for backers for this? I take it.
Well, I'm not. I mean, the Kickstarter is done, but we're in that like weird 2-week window where if people are still interested in the story, you can still order things because I haven't placed the order yet. So I have a web page where you can just pay me directly through PayPal. I also take Venmo and Cash App. So you can still send me funds and I can get you on the list. So that way, when we do place the print order, yours is there. You know what I mean? So you can get issues 1, issues 2. You can order the Choose Your Own Adventure. I think I'm taking orders on keychains and T-shirts. I think that's about it. I think all the Wilder exclusive stuff I can't do. Like the Funko Pops are done.
And then I put your website up, and then here is.
Yeah, so you can still go shop around and take a look at the things. The videos are there. That was the other thing that we do as a fan experience is that we make a short film with every issue that comes out, which like explores more of the world. So the first issue, we did a commercial for the undead retirement community. We filmed a riot scene. I had a bunch of people in there. And then the second issue, I opened up to the fans and they could like phone in stuff where they could tell me conspiracy theories about what they think broke death. And McDonald's was on the list, by the way. Food was a big one. And that's actually pretty smart because we all eat the same stuff, right? Sugar. So if something was contaminated.
Yeah, highly processed stuff.
It was in the gluten-free products.
We heard gluten-free, we heard organic yogurt, GMOs, sugar, McDonald's. And then people were like, it's the government, it was aliens, it was witches, pygmies doing voodoo. We have a fun time. So you can always see those there. I get run over by a car at the end of the second one, which is fun. So I like doing some kind of stunt in every one. So the next one's going to be a scary one. So I'm excited for that. I like doing scary stuff.
And you have an outline for this, right? So you know where it's going.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I have all the scripts. We got 13 scripts ready to go. They're going to start just pushing them out. I got picked up by a publisher in September. So Charter Comics will be publishing issue number 2 and all the issues going forward until I get picked up by like Image Comics or something ridiculous. We all dream, right?
Hey, fingers crossed. It can happen.
Well, they were like, if you get picked up by Image, we'll pat you on the back on the way out. And I was like, that's cool. At least they're nice about it. But
hey, we're rooting for you.
So yeah.
I
put everything up. If you guys are interested, go head over. Sounds like a fun book. I'm kind of interested. I really want to read it now. You're more than welcome to hang out. We're going to start our new segment.
Let's do it.
And then we got our top 5, we got anime. So if you're into anime, you're more than welcome to hang out the whole show. If
Cool.
you're busy, we understand you can leave too, but
I'll hang out until I hear someone screaming in the background.
Perfect.
Wait, in Ish's background or your background?
My background. If it's your background, I don't have to leave.
Yeah,
but if it's my background and stuff is on fire, I should probably go.
I got him playing with Duplo blocks right now, so no screaming.
Yeah.
We are from the planet Duplo. We are here to destroy you.
That was the funniest part of that movie.
All right, let's hit that news.
So the first story I have for today is director Cameron Crowe, who's best known for movies like Almost Famous and Vanilla Sky, recently spoke at Rolling Stone podcast. And they were talking with him about hypothetically directing the movie Dazzler. And he was like, throw me a Dazzler movie, let's do it. He says it's quite a bizarre selection given the character is a slightly more obscure mutant. But asking if he was familiar with it, he said he wasn't. But now he will be. He's like, who should play Dazzler? You know, so what do you guys think of Cameron Crowe possibly directing a Dazzler movie?
I don't know who he is.
Wait, he said he's not familiar with the character?
He said he's not familiar.
Well,
but he will be now. He will be
well, that's just kind of weird.
I mean,
he's an awesome movie director. So it's like, put his name to any project, and I'm like halfway there. But then if he doesn't even know who Dazzler is and he wants to do an adaptation of that, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, Dazzler to me is going to be like
it'd be different if he was like, oh, I'm a lifelong Dazzler fan. You know, he dresses up as Dazzler secretly at night.
Well, it's like the Russo brothers were lifelong Avengers fans.
Maybe he likes disco movies.
The what?
I don't know. Those two movies that are listed, Almost Famous and Vanilla Sky, I mean, they don't really lend to a comic book style movie, you know? That's
Especially
kind of a
Vanilla
weird
Sky.
choice.
No, none of his movies are comic book style. Jerry Maguire, Singles.
Right.
Yeah, so he's going to take it out of the comic book style movie, you know, with the, and he's going to make it more of a regular story that features
It's
comic
like
book
Joker
elements
by Todd Phillips.
Right.
No, don't do
Is
that.
that what we
Please
want?
Don't do that, Cameron Crowe.
It could be
Who should
really
play
good
Dazzler?
because it's
Like a
something
great
different.
70s disco movie.
Yeah,
It could also
it'll be
be
more
really
like
bad.
Saturday Night Fever with some superhero elements.
But
But you can see at least it would have a
didn't
really
they do
good
the
soundtrack.
Batman movie? Didn't do the
Joker.
Batman movie and didn't know anything about the comics with Keaton? Or who was it?
Tim
One of
Burton?
those old movies,
Tim
those
Burton?
older
Tim
movies.
Burton?
Tim Burton.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure Tim Burton knew
Yeah, Tim Burton
Batman.
knew Batman.
He knew Batman.
Who was it that
Personally,
did something
he knew
with
Batman,
Batman
personally.
that didn't look at any of the
They were
books?
friends.
So who should play Dazzler
There's
then?
some director that didn't know shit about it.
So I had to
Chris
just
Nolan,
Google
probably?
Dazzler because I wasn't familiar. So a mutant with the ability to transduce sound into light,
Right.
which
Right,
often
so she's
forces
a-
her into reluctant superheroism. She's a very gifted singer and performer, hence her reservations in donning her uniform. So it's like taking Taylor Swift and making her a superhero.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
that's
Okay.
basically the look. That's who I was thinking of.
Yeah,
when
but
I
a
saw
better
it.
dancer.
And Taylor Swift should
So-
not play Dazzler.
Then Ish.
Britney
Ish is my
Spears?
choice.
No.
Oh, I would be down for a Britney Spears Dazzler.
Ooh,
I
yeah.
can do that.
The acting-
Did they
the
have
acting
a
was
Dazzler
better. She
character
can't
in
act, though.
X-Men?
Maybe 20 years ago for Britney.
Yeah, I was like, mm.
How about
Yeah, I'd say like
Olivia
20 years ago,
Rodrigo?
Cameron Diaz, who's been in Cameron Crowe movies, would be
Oof.
perfect.
No my goose to Cameron Diaz.
Jessica Simpson.
Let's have
Well, we do-
Dazzler
It's just
versus
a weird
Gem and the
news item, but-
Holograms.
I like it. Yeah.
Now that's
Blonde
true.
actresses in their 20s. Chloe
Olivia
Grace Moretz,
Rodrigo.
Ellie Fanning, Sophie Turner, Dakota Fanning, Abigail Breslin,
Megan
January-
Trainor.
No,
Megan
no, Megan
Trainor?
Trainor. Come on, man.
She don't look anything like that. Well, I mean, it is acting.
Get her to sing Dazzler.
What about the chick that's from?
Feels like I think Cameron Crowe's last movie bombed really, really hard. So maybe he's all like,
What
"Yeah,
was
I
it?
need some of that Disney money to bounce back."
What was his last movie, Ish?
Aloha, Bradley Cooper and Emma Stone, and like this huge
Oh, yeah.
all-star cast, and they spent a
Yeah.
ton of
Wow.
money
That was
on
just
it,
that was
and,
just a
like,
write-off
I'm really
vacation,
sad.
dude. They just wanted to go to Hawaii, write it off, put it on the studio.
I was gonna say, I'm like, I don't even recall seeing anything.
Next, we have Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul star, which I love this dude.
I love
Odenkirk,
Odenkirk.
yes.
He's rumored to be up for a role in Marvel's Wonder Man series on Disney+.
Mr. Show, that was the
Yeah.
best.
You know that movie he's in. What's it called?
Nobody.
That's
Yes.
an awesome movie.
Probably
He was
his
also in
coolest
the
movie.
Incredibles sequel. He voiced one of the characters in the Incredibles sequel.
So I think anything he's in will be good. That's him praying to be in a Disney Plus show.
And
He's got
him
triple
and Nobody
celebrity.
was a great movie. And Christopher Lloyd in that movie. Oh my god.
Yeah. It was awesome.
Oh my god.
And they're going to need somebody who's a really good actor to balance out Yaya, who said that he thought that comic book movies were beneath him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he shouldn't be in anything.
Was this the guy cast as Wonder Man
Yeah.
who crapped all over his role in Aquaman? Yeah, that's clown work.
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah,
really
he
likes
said it's
clown
clown work.
He said it was clown work.
Yeah.
So I'm excited
He's
to
really
see
into
him.
clown work. He's signing up for more clown work.
He
It
likes
takes a lot to
getting
be
paid.
clown.
Yeah, he likes the money,
Those
not the clowns.
Yeah,
Jack
Right.
and Ryan Reynolds just had
Sabretooth's
a
coming.
that comic book
hilarious
money.
exchange regarding the new Wolverine Deadpool 3. Jackman posted a photo of car damage, what looks to have been clawed by a big animal, or a
Sabretooth.
mutant with.
It was a bear.
Jackman had hilariously captioned the photo. My aim may be a little bit off now, but trust it will be on point when the need arises. And I like that Ryan Reynolds said, "That's my Kia Sorento, you dick." I thought that was a great way to go back at that. I like that they're having fun with this and that they're. I know Hartman thinks this is more of a hint at Sabretooth than it is for Wolverine, but I still think it was.
Those aren't
That's
claw
fun.
marks. Those are literal claw marks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a
it's
whole
like that's
paw there.
looks like a legitimate bear, like Big James
Yeah.
from my comic.
Yeah,
Looks like
that's
somebody
for sure.
punched into it and then ripped it,
And headbutted it.
or threw a head
What the-
into it,
It's a palm
or the
strike.
or the marks were holding a head and it rammed it into it. I don't know. I almost was on it too long, and I'm like, all right, I gotta.
Have you ever seen that meme where the guy's like, it's a brand new car and Hulk picks up and throws it and misses the dude, and he's like, damn, not only did you throw my brand new car, but it missed. That's
I hope you're held accountable for doing that.
Nah.
but
Dick.
I love that they're coming on and they're really joking around and having fun about Deadpool 3. It just gets me excited. Almost excited as him, Hugh Jackman ripping his pants because he's getting so fucking buff.
But he didn't post a picture of it.
He doesn't want to post a picture of his split pants, bro.
But he posted it of his car.
It's not his car, that's Ryan Reynolds' car.
It's his
Oh,
Kia
yeah.
Sorento, you dick.
How can I don't know what Kia Sorentos look like, so
Well, they look generally like this, but without the claw marks.
but that's just the door.
Do I need to pull up a Kia Sorento and
That
show
could
it
have
to
been
him?
on any car.
It could be any car. I think Ryan Reynolds is just being.
Okay.
Car doors.
All right,
other
we got
cars on other cars.
the fun police coming
Poor
and cracking
Hartman, I know,
down.
killing it,
That's fucking Sabretooth.
taking it way too seriously. Hashtag jokes.
I don't find it funny.
Okay, Harvey.
Yes.
Respect the Kia.
What are we
That
doing
damage could have
here?
been made by a duck.
Talking about
Those
ducks.
are
Don't get me started
Not
on
bad
ducks.
cars. They're not great cars, but they're not bad cars either. Lionsgate CEO noted that they're talking about making a John Wick game, meaning something with a serious budget back in it that could rival other major shooters out there. Yes,
Does that mean
It's gonna have to be third person.
that would be my car after Liefeld got a hold of it.
Does that mean Keanu standing on a stage calling everybody breathtaking to promote this thing?
I don't play video games,
Are
but
they
if
aware
I
of
got
games?
a John Wick
was-
game.
That was so cool to see him on stage, and then the game just sucked.
Now,
Yeah,
the game is coming back though. That game, Cyberpunk. That's actually
Well, after
Cyberpunk.
Edge Runners came out, yeah, everybody was like, I don't know, play it.
well.
I just want to make myself
that.
that jacket with the hood that glows. I want to do that for Halloween next year.
Yeah.
Hashtag goals.
Yeah, you want to make your
Anime did
avatar
help
so that
too.
they don't have to do leg day anymore.
Yes. It's like, please, leg day sucks. I'm gonna go fall down the stairs later. It's good.
So I know we're all excited for a John Wick game where we just get the.
It'll be a mobile gaming.
No,
Yeah.
better not be.
I can't see it being on. I can't see a console game where like it warrants that. Like there's so
Dude,
much
just
out
walking
there.
through,
I
you're just
know.
blasting people for the entire game.
Like
That's it.
I mean, but the gun fu is pretty cool. I mean, that would be something different. And then he does a lot of knife fights and stuff too. So I don't know.
it's a lot. It almost need to be too advanced to be made. Like there's
Maybe
too
they
much
should
out
do it in
there.
VR. That would be a lot more
Yeah,
fun.
that would be like I'm not sure how easy that would be.
Sorry, I said Taylor Swift, but unrelated to what we're talking about now.
There needs
Taylor
whatever
Swift
this
and John
game is
Wick,
about.
maybe.
Whatever this
Yeah,
game
it's
is
just like
about.
mention Taylor Swift and the chat goes buzzing.
Yeah.
I always saw that story. I seen Taylor Swift when she was like, oh God, she must have been like
That's how she
15
writes her
years
songs.
old. She opened up for George Strait. And I had no idea who she was. And all of a sudden, like she blew up, and my wife was like, and I was like, Taylor Swift. Yeah. She's like, you know, you've seen her in concert. And I was like, fuck that. I'd never seen Taylor Swift in concert. She's like, you saw that little blonde girl open up for George Strait? That was Taylor Swift. And I was like, damn it.
You're a
Went and saw Taylor
groupie.
Swift live.
Kyle's a groupie.
Damn.
Kyle's a
I watched
Swiftie.
Taylor Swift.
You know,
But this
I don't
game-
know though. It's like, how much more over the top can they go with these John Wick movies? It's like we've seen so many over the top things already. Are we just getting desensitized? I
John
wonder.
We
Wick-
need to see the pencil. We need to see him kill people.
We
with
saw the
pencil.
pencil in 2.
Yeah, we
Well,
did.
they had
But
a
that
game
needs to
called
be a part of this
Sifu,
game. You need to be
Sifu.
able to
Oh,
pick
in
up
the
pencils as
game.
weapons.
I was just thinking in the movies because they're still
Oh,
making movies, and then they're making the TV show.
Yeah.
That's like gun fu porn now. Like they had the murder
It
porn.
is.
Now it's like gun. Like now it's like we just want to see crazy, like martial
I was-
arts and guns
And we want to see
mean-
the action tell the story. is
and
what
an
we-
Yes.
alarm clock, so we know it's almost over. Like when they call
From
like,
someone
you
that
know,
choreographs fight scenes, these movies are like the golden standard. Like
Yes.
these are so amazing. The fact that 8711 was created by 2 fucking stuntmen, use my language, that all they do is, you know what I mean? Like Chad Stahelski was Keanu's stuntman in all the Matrix movies. That's the guy who runs the freaking company and is writing John Wick. Like, yes, of course we're going to watch this, but the fights are so technical. It's just amazing that they can pull them off.
Yeah, the
The
mirror-
scene
the
with
mirror
Halle
fights
Berry
and
and the
shit,
2 Malinois, like amazing work. I can't say enough, but it's just like how much crazier are we going to get with this?
You
I
know,
think we
it
just
doesn't
like-
need to be
like it. We like it.
crazy.
It
It's just the
doesn't.
technicality. Like for example, we don't want it to go Die Hard, where Die Hard 1 was a very grounded movie, and then Die Hard with a Vengeance, he's like jumping through helicopter blades or whatever it was.
It's like, didn't he murder
Like,
a
come on.
helicopter with a car? He
Yeah, he's
drove-
jumping a car into a helicopter. Like, come on. I just want to see the technical stuff, like the knife fight scene. I think it was so incredible, right?
with the 2 guys with the karambits.
Yeah, in the antique store where they're pulling. Yeah. And then he like, boom, right through their head. Oh my gosh, such great choreography.
Or like,
there's great choreography and whatever that word is. I can't say it. I can't remember the movie, but it's a kung fu movie. And I know like the one where and there's like this huge fight in the mud.
The Raid?
Who's in it?
The Raid.
The
Raid.
The Raid? That's the style of martial arts that I do. Penchak Silat.
Oh,
Kali's Illustrissimo. So all that fighting, that's me.
That's white.
That's
what
Mike Shinoda from Linkin Park did the soundtrack for The Raid.
Did he really?
Yes, he
did. That's so cool. Yeah, The Raid is just amazing. Like the kitchen fight in number 2, amazing.
A little long.
And that's actually the same guy that was in John Wick, the short guy. He was one of the 2 guys. Yeah.
He played 2 roles in that movie, didn't he? In The Raid. I thought he played 2 roles, but you can't really tell it's him. You can't really tell it's him in another part.
Oh, well, some guys do that all the time.
Well, no, I mean the actor, like the actual actor.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll have to look it up. But like the guy that did the choreographed Big Trouble Little China, he was like, I did a kung fu class with him at one. I don't know. It's just a random thing. He was in town, and he was like, I died 3 times in that movie, and I was like, yes.
Yes.
Where the Daredevil got the stairway scene. Yeah.
Yep. Because they do those hallway scene things in The Raid. There's a lot of those.
Yeah.
Where
I was thinking more of
fighting
Old Boy.
Yeah,
that pretty much wasn't that based on, or wasn't that what The Raid was based on? Like the story in general was Old Boy.
I don't think so. The Raid was more like they got stuck in a drug slum, right? And they had.
I mean the levels, like the levels.
Oh, like going through the levels. Yeah, Old Boy was just the one fight scene.
It was almost really more like the Judge Dredd movie.
Yeah, that was a great movie. The one with Carl Urban, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah,
See, I like
that and The Raid are kind of very similar in many ways.
Aaron Carter died.
Aaron Carter died today. I didn't know who Aaron Carter was. I had to Google him prior to making this. His brother is.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
His brother, Kyle just said it. His brother's a Backstreet Boy. He was a musician, very popular in the early aughts.
I know Aaron Carter was on Nickelodeon or Disney Channel. So they don't know what he died of. I know they pulled him out of a pool or a bathtub or something. So this is what I want to do for everybody. Let's guess how he died, and if you guys are right,
oh my gosh,
I'll send you
Heroin
a
overdose.
You'll send us a what?
It just can't be overdose. We've got to
heroin overdose.
What do you think he died of? And if you guys are right, anyone in the chat, I will send you a prize.
Fentanyl.
I mean,
you're not eligible, Hartman. Stop stealing answers.
Didn't you just say he drowned in a pool?
Yeah, but
he probably OD'd on something and then sunk to the bottom.
Yes, I'm trying to find the action. I don't think he drowned. I think
those rainbow Skittles,
and then fell
just wasn't
in the pool or something.
Taste the rainbow. Overdose on the rainbow.
Taste the rainbow. I'm gonna guess heart attack.
Yeah.
Because it could be drug related. Like a lot of the times they're on drugs for a long time, and it gets
snap! No, you know what? Heart attack's not bad. Heart attack's not bad.
A bear killed him.
Maybe Big James got him. I'm just saying. Big James could get everybody.
Maybe that's where death went.
Oh my gosh.
Fentanyl at McDonald's.
Fentanyl McDonald's took him out, dude. Combination give him a heart attack.
McDonald's counteract the fentanyl though?
I don't think so.
They call it a Big Mac attack.
Big Mac attack.
We had a quarter-pound attack.
Yeah.
Where is it?
A quarter pound of heart stoppage.
So one of my buddies that does comic books also does board games, and he has this game called Slaughterville. I just have to show you because freaking Big James is everywhere. So he actually you can play against like a bunch of characters that are like movie things, right? So like he made Big James into a card for his his game. Then you can't escape him. It's so funny if you read this. It's like you can't escape from Big James. You can't remove yourself from combat. You have to sacrifice somebody in order to get away from this bear.
That's like It Follows.
Sorry,
yeah,
Hartman.
it just doesn't go away. And then
What?
look, that's me. He put me in there.
No, you guys remember that movie, It Follows?
Sorry for what?
That was a scary movie.
Big James is It Follows.
Right?
Yeah. That's all I got.
Beautiful.
Slaughterville's a cool game.
So what I have next?
So did we figure it out yet?
No, they haven't.
Oh, you're not going to tell us the answer?
His liver.
I don't know the answer. They just found him today.
Oh.
Yeah, it just happened right before we went on.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were going to tell us the answer, Kyle. What kind of contest?
I know.
is
I was
this?
like, who won the prize?
I don't know who it is, but whoever
Call
Ninja
the police.
Warrior. Everyone competes. Nobody
was
wins.
Yeah,
famous
this is a no
for-
prize. This is a Marvel no prize contest.
Wait a minute.
but-
He was famous for also being involved with Michael Jackson. Like he went to Michael Jackson's house.
Allegedly. Or getting
No, he was there, but it was him and Corey Feldman that said that they were never touched. So
I mean, look at that face. You wouldn't want. I mean,
Somebody
Yeah.
definitely touched that guy.
I was gonna say, I'm like, I don't know, man.
He doesn't want us to talk about it,
But-
though.
I bet all his residual checks stopped, so that's why he.
Well, if you add his age together, you get 7. And then I think there's something about 27, and then there's some conspiracy involved.
27's only for the rock stars.
Okay, you just pulling stuff out of your butt right now, Hardman.
He's
All right.
like a.
I already did that earlier, so.
So,
Found it
so
as
the rumors are
backup.
true. We get a Sandman season 2. Is everybody
That
as
was that
excited
popping
as I am?
heard earlier.
I would
Twilight
think so.
side
I mean,
story.
What, Hartman?
Yeah.
You take that back.
Well, he does look
that
like a
show made so
vampire.
much money.
So
Well-
it says, for the most part, the Sandman season 1 followed the comics pretty closely, adapting the first 2 major arcs, Preludes and Nocturnes, and the Dollhouse, with only a few differences. For that reason, it's likely that season 2 will adapt the 3rd and 4th major arcs, Seasons of Mist, and A Game of You. So I'm excited. I really enjoyed how they did Sandman. So I'm really
I enjoyed
excited
it
for season
too.
2. What does everyone else think? Anyone else think?
I enjoyed the
I
first
enjoyed
season.
it.
Yeah.
I'd like to see more.
Mom says that's the face of a guy that was fondled by a Nickelodeon exec as a kid.
She's talking about Aaron Carter.
Harvey.
Yeah.
Somebody, Kevin Spacey. Someone got to him.
Yeah.
Kevin Spacey.
Kevin Spacey did
Ruined
it.
House of Cards for everyone.
Ruined everything. You can't even watch The Usual Suspects no more.
Or Horrible Bosses,
Damn it.
2 or 1.
Oh man, I
Ah.
still have watched. Like I just watched that movie 21, where he takes.
Oh,
all the
yeah,
MLB
he's
in
to
there too.
Horrible
Bosses,
Bosses to
come on.
Vegas. Still a great movie.
He's still just as
Spacey's a
horrible.
Great actor. I still enjoy watching Kevin Spacey movies.
Yeah.
He's still.
So Sandman was like
Yeah, I
the
don't care.
one
I
show
watch
on
it too.
Netflix that actually amounted to anything, right? This year.
Well, because they took
Now, hold up.
a mostly faithful approach to the source material.
People were still upset about it.
Yeah.
People are upset about everything these days, though. So you can't watch anything
it's
without
happened.
someone being mad.
I like a
People get mad
little
at the
bit
drop
of
of a hat.
difference. But we only have
We'll always have
It's a
K-Pax.
terrible
Yeah.
movie.
Love, Hate, Robots,
K-Pax
and I
and
think
Pay
You
It
Should Leave
Forward.
Now are the best thing on Netflix at the moment.
Oh,
Whatever, Hardman.
Has anybody
Hardman's
started
just
watching
trying
that
to cause
Blockbuster show?
controversy.
Love, Death, and Robots. That one.
Yeah. Yes.
Love, Death, and Robots is great. Season 1 and season 3 were the best.
Yeah. How about that
Season
cocoon,
3?
that space cocoon shit? That like what? Like based on
Yeah.
that short story? That's
Yes.
crazy.
They're all
That-
nuts. Like
Yeah, they are. And there's
the
no
one with
order.
the
I guess
bear. Did you see the
they
bear
had no
one?
order. They hadn't. Yeah, that kind of reminded me of your
Yes.
story too. Like
Yeah, I wrote mine, and we're doing like issue number 1, and like season 3 came out. It's like Kill Squad Kill or
Ooh.
something like that. And this bear came out, and I was like, yes,
yes!
yes!
The bear comes out all crazy looking.
like control yourself, woman. I'm like, sorry, it's the bear.
Yeah, that stuff messed with me too. That whole series, like, love that.
That
It was like
my
Black
favorite one
Mirror
is
for
still
animated
the yogurt.
CG.
The yogurt.
Oh, where the yogurt takes over the world. Yeah, you guys should watch that show if you haven't watched it.
What is
Oh,
it?
it's amazing.
It's a bunch of
Love, Death, and
bunch of
Robots.
animated shorts about
I saw the first season.
The creator
robots.
of
Oh,
that are
everything
killing.
and nothing.
Deadpool, movie did it.
The one where they like
It's a very
let
heavy
you
metal
change
magazine
time.
feel.
Yeah, for sure.
It's all different. It's all different. They're
Different
all
styles.
the like episodes are different styles. You get like Disney style. You get like CG style, like realistic CG
Anime.
Yeah, like the
the one with
Pixar
that like gold
stuff.
mermaid lady.
Dude, the one about the siren.
Yeah.
That shit fucked me up. I watched that shit and it was like, oh my god, is this real?
I'm like, that was so gory. It was beyond gory for a cartoon. I was like, wow, they went there.
Yeah, it was amazing. Like just the filming, then the production level, it's extraordinary.
Yeah, it was beautifully done.
Okay, I'm done.
This I threw in, but it seems like Zelma Stanton will run her own bookstore in the MCU from this new photo shoot for Ironheart. Do we care? Is anybody excited for this?
No.
Like I was iffy even putting it in.
Nope.
She's just a side character, right? I mean, she's not even like a.
She's Doctor Strange's apprentice.
So in the Doctor Strange movie, she's the one that he was like protecting.
So are they just is this going to be like more Young Avengers? Because he didn't have anybody that was coming in to replace him.
I'm not sure what they're going to do with her. Right now, it only says that she's got a bookstore. So I don't know if they're just going to pop in and pop out or nothing. I don't know.
She must have like an occult bookstore in the back or something.
Wait, did you say she was in Doctor Strange 2?
Yeah.
Did she?
What part? I don't remember.
In the Multiverse of Madness?
Yeah, where?
Wasn't that the girl that he was protecting?
No,
she was not American.
That was America Chavez.
Oh, yeah. Whoa. What the Kyle?
You mean the main storyline?
You guys have not figured this out
yet.
Yeah,
the main character.
I have no idea who actors are. I have no idea what they play in.
She could have been referred to as the one with the rainbow patch on her vest. I've seen that as a headline. Like I've heard her referred to as many things.
Yeah, right.
That poltergeist was messing with your glasses. That's what happened.
It must be because I'm terrible with actors. Damn
He
it.
replaced his glasses with lies and confusion.
All right, moving on then.
They look so similar.
Make
Oh,
sure
look,
to check out
after the
Lori's
pillar.
book. I even made
Subtle
slides.
reminder.
I mean, it is bullshit. It's all bullshit.
So okay, let's get over to
Oh God, look
our
at
worst
those.
covers and our best covers of the week. Do we have a thing for this? Yes, we do. So, our first, anytime there's a Liefeld cover, it's automatically the worst cover of the week.
Why?
The feet. Obviously, it's the feet.
Oh no!
Liefeld, like, look at this.
Come on,
dumbass
that's
gun.
not fair. That's a better cover than the main cover, I think.
What the fuck is this right here?
Guys,
What is that?
His body's growing.
It's a shoulder pad from the 80s.
That's shoulder pad.
That's
from
one of those
Mad Max.
see-through windows.
Also serves
Mad
Mad Max
Max.
shoulder pad.
pouch pad.
A pouch pad.
Like, you can't even put nothing in there. He
It's
just
to
wants
protect
to show off how big his shoulder is. I mean,
Sword shoulder.
I think
You
Rob
put a shoulder
Liefeld
pad
knows-
on a guy when you don't want to draw the actual shoulder muscles, man.
Yeah, I don't know what
AI
that is
can
either.
draw that
When
stuff
you fight
now.
with swords, you don't want anything right there. You don't.
It's like,
His arm.
Because look at his
It's
other
missing
shoulder.
something.
Look at his exposed shoulder. It looks like he's got some of that muscle oil injected in there, man.
Feels good to make fun of
What's the
something,
X
doesn't it?
thing
Yes.
do?
what is that? It's a striation from muscles.
Oh.
Look at it.
I also
Look at
like
his
his
pouch.
thigh straps. There's one on one side and two on the other.
Just terrible. Just terrible. Sorry, BK. I know you love
Sorry,
Liefeld, but that's
Liefeld.
fucking terrible. No, don't ever say sorry to Liefeld. Next, we've got Black Panther number 11.
Wow.
Why are his legs so big?
That reminds me of like the Azrael covers of the 90s, man.
I get what they're doing. I get it. The cover of the extreme variant.
So
like,
we're
aren't the
picking this
extreme variants all like this?
So this was being Liefeld.
It's thematic.
channeled.
Hartman's right.
So since it's a
And
total.
it's 90s homage month. Don't forget.
It's like they got the little Wolverine with the back problems. And...
automatically on the shit list.
Where are those shells falling from? Is he shooting the gun as we speak?
Why does Black Panther have a
not
big ass
good,
gun?
But
yeah, and grenades everywhere. This is Black Panther crossover with Tropic Thunder.
I get it. That's all I can say.
I was like, that's even too many guns for the Punisher.
Like his torso's aimed one way, his legs are hugely aimed the other way.
It just
his head is small.
Sylvester Stallone played Black
What's with the
Panther.
ears? Wait, what's with the ears?
Black
his ears are like
he wants to be pet,
droopy.
so his ears are down.
When Panthers get mad, their ears point out like that. He's a mad panther.
That's legit. Mad Kitty.
Black Panther.
Black Panther's my name, and I murder.
All right.
Oh boy. Okay.
Bad,
that's
man.
definitely belongs on this list. What's next?
We've got X-Men Red.
What is going on in this?
This is terrible.
Relaxing.
It's
a bummer.
What are we
yawning.
looking at? We're looking at Cable.
Cable.
And
yawning,
shooting,
laying down.
Is Epcot Center there supposed to be the guy's head?
Yeah.
Looks like he's like just tripping his balls off and laying down on the ground.
Okay. So he's like,
I like Epcot Center head. That's cool.
So
he's shooting a celestial.
So now we've got best covers.
Okay, I was like, this one's good.
Yeah, we got She-Hulk number 7. I think this was one of Matt's picks.
It's like very noirish.
Yeah.
Very nice cover.
Nice lights.
It looks like
Jen
they
Bartel.
photoshopped a cigarette.
She always
out.
does amazing work.
Like they used to
Is
do
that
in the
Bartel?
old days.
This is the best cover for looks like they're dropping a deuce.
Previous cast is back.
Eat more fiber and drink water.
Ruby Rose.
Does anybody ever make that face when they're shooting a gun? That's what I want to know.
Ruby
Shooting
Rose.
a gun?
Nope.
No.
Only after Taco Bell.
Only for the camera, like in bad Resident Evil movies.
Yeah, right.
It's like you're shooting the wrong
Air
way.
ionizer.
I am an Art Germ fan. I love everything that Art Germ does. So
manga's coming.
I saw this cover and I just love it.
It's cute.
You're gonna like our anime peer pressure segment, then, Kyle.
Perfect.
Anime peer pressure.
Yeah.
It's where we shove it down each other's throats.
Like, eat it.
Very anime-ish.
We've got a Capullo cover Joker. Yes, it's.
Who
love
did that?
This is great Capullo.
Oh, I'm talking about who did the
Capullo,
laugh.
yeah.
Oh,
Those are cool.
Anytime that Capullo draws a Joker, it's fire.
Yeah.
Look at that eye.
Yeah.
Yep. It's gonna pop out.
That is cool. I'll give it to him.
Ooh.
Now that's
What's
fun.
this? I like
This
it.
is called a regular Tuesday in Australia.
Don't move to Australia.
And then,
I posted that link to that episode Jabaro from Love, Death, Robots in the chat.
Yes.
So I guess it's time for anime then.
Let's do it.
Night of the Ghoul.
Lori,
That's a
you
cool
big fan of anime?
I do like anime. I need to see more. I'm not as well versed in a lot of this stuff, but I don't know. Jesus Christ. Attack on Titan, Claymore, a lot of the older stuff like Ninja Scroll. I don't think I'm all the way caught up on Demon Slayer or stuff like that.
I just started watching Demon Slayer. I'm on episode 7.
Oh, that's so good.
I love it. My son gave me his Crunchyroll account, and it's
yes. I was gonna say, now, if you get the Crunchyroll paid one, it's so worth it because those goddamn commercials for the general drive me nuts.
Aren't those based on your location?
I don't know. Like, it must think I'm in Detroit because I get all the stuff from Michigan, and I'm like, this makes no sense.
No, they play those out here too.
Yeah. Okay. Anime time.
All right.
Anime time.
So first up, One Piece Film Red finally hit American theaters this week. I went and saw it on Friday night with my boys, and it follows the Straw Hat Pirates facing off against Luffy's childhood friend Uta, who also happens to be the daughter of legendary pirate Red-Haired Shanks. Now, many of you know I am a lifetime One Piece fan. I've been after One Piece since 2005, and while I am a huge One Piece fan, this was not my favorite One Piece movie. It kind of followed the same formula that they followed in the last 2 or 3 One Piece movies, where you start out with this antagonist who seems friendly at first, eventually turning malevolent because of their own suffering or their own emotional issues that they've allowed to take over their thinking, leading to a conflict with the Straw Hats, who are freedom-loving pirates, ultimately culminating in a battle with a giant robot. Once the giant robot appears, usually I feel like these movies go sideways. And my youngest son was like, he kept saying to me, I don't like this. I don't like this. I was like, what do you mean you don't like it? What is it you don't like about it? And he says, I don't like that Uta was supposed to be the friend, and then she turns out to be the antagonist. On the plus side, the music, the soundtrack, so they got a Japanese pop star to do the vocals for the main character, or the antagonist, who ends up, or she's a diva. She sings. She's got some powers related to her voice. And I won't say too much about it, but the music is excellent. It's very, very good, very catchy. The main theme that they have for it, called New Genesis, is a very catchy song. And they have, I think, six numbers that they weave into the story throughout the movie. But on the story side, it's little more than a COVID lockdown metaphor. Story was written in late 2020, early 2021. And my thinking is that the writers or writer were feeling very depressed about the Japanese COVID lockdown. And so the story pushes back a lot on those kinds of let me just trust me to keep you safe type of positions. And ironically, there's a lot of kind of cross messaging where some people are in favor of being locked down, and other people are not in favor of being locked down. So it's just kind of that. And then with any metaphor, there's always a breakdown. And for me, the surrealist elements of this movie did not hit. And the music was definitely the focal point for this movie. And trying to shape a story around music doesn't always land. And so there was some disconnect. So I still enjoyed it. And I would say I might see it again. I could probably get talked into seeing it again, but my boys definitely will not be going back to see it. They thought it was just very different for a One Piece movie. If you want, it's really tough to just kind of punch Uta, right? Because she's Luffy's friend. She's also a girl. And so
don't punch the girl.
So it's like, even though Luffy has punched women in the past, he has done that. It was very distinct from other movies, even though it still followed that kind of battle, leading to the giant robot battle. So there's a lot to like about it, but there's a lot of stuff that I was just kind of scratching my head. What is surprising about this movie is that it is making a lot of money. It's still very popular in Japan. I don't see it making as much money here. It made 10 million over the weekend so far. It'll probably continue to do more on Sunday, tonight and Sunday, but I don't see it doing well long term here, just because it was really weird on the surrealist part of the movie. But I could be wrong.
So is this standalone, or is it to follow the One Piece show?
So ironically, they did. So the story credit, they gave a story credit to the original author of One Piece, Eiichiro Oda, and my guess is usually the movie ends leaving it in status quo for the anime. This one, it had a lot of Easter eggs. It had a lot of information that we didn't have previously that will be canon moving forward. So, for example, we found out the name of Shanks's family. It's like
knew we talked about Detroit too much earlier.
So it has some stuff that is going to be canon, and it left it open-ended as to whether Uta lived or died. So, it's open to your interpretation, I'm sure. But I think it's worth a watch. I don't think it's worth more than one watch, though. And we'll see how it does in the American box office. It's still kicking butt in Japanese box office.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the Demon Slayer one when I went to see it, so maybe I'll go with my son and see that then.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, Marco.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Marco.
Next
the
up,
guy that did your book.
Yeah, this is Marco, my artist. Right below.
This is our Marco.
I know. It's like they all share the same name. It's all the same person.
It is, yeah. Yep. It is.
So next up, a very popular movie came out in a few years back. I think it was 2016. This one came out. Your Name is getting a live action treatment, and they just recently hired a new writer and director for the film. It's going to be produced here in Hollywood with a live action treatment. If you are a fan of Your Name, hopefully they don't do to this what they did to Death Note, and they treat it more like the Tom Cruise movie Edge of Tomorrow, which is also based on a manga called All You Need Is Kill. So fingers crossed that it doesn't go sideways.
Fingers crossed.
I've only seen one anime that was done good in live action, and that was the Girl Who Leapt Through Time. So
Rurouni Kenshin is really good, but that was it wasn't U.S.
Right.
Yeah, I mean they don't do well. Like Ghost in the Shell, Alita Battle Angel. It's just they don't.
Well, I think the issue, and I've mentioned this before, is that a lot of times the American production studios miss the subtext, and so they're producing something they think is cool, but it doesn't speak to an American audience like it does a Japanese audience. And because the production company misses the subtext, they leave out details that the original fans really find important. So I think that's the primary difficulty of adapting manga or anime titles is production studios just don't understand what makes it valuable or meaningful.
They just try to change things just to change things. Like, we can't do the same thing because that would be predictable. Let's change something. But it's like, should you?
I mean, you can say the same thing for any media, right? I mean, book, comic book, whatever.
But you're adapting something that's animated. I mean, like, I see what, like the difference is when say, for instance, if my friends see an animation, they think cartoons. Like they think that they don't think anything other than cartoons or anime porn, they call it, because it's like that's what they've seen, and it's like they don't realize that how much there is to offer in the categories. So that's just my experience. Like my friends hate it. Like they can't stand it. They think it's either anime porn or it's a kid show.
Well,
So
that's
like,
what our new segment is about, and we'll get to that in just a bit, Hartman.
But first, the only reason why BK shows up to listen to the show is for Chainsaw Man review.
Chainsaw Man. Okay.
The greatest anime out right now. Lori, you watching Chainsaw Man?
Not yet, but I'm sold now.
Oh,
so
it's on episode 4. It's on Hulu right now.
Hulu, Crunchyroll.
Okay.
Hulu, Crunchyroll. It's the best anime out right now.
It's about a guy who gets possessed by a demon that gives him the power to turn his face and hands into chainsaws to fight other demons. And his whole motivation is if he kills demons for the government, his boss promises that she will let him get to second base.
So he's like, it's my goal. It's not as big as everyone else's goal, but it's my goal. And it left us with a huge cliffhanger. So in episode 3, what's her name?
Power. There's another demon possessed member of his team who's a girl. She's the one with the horns in the back there, right over his shoulder.
Okay.
And she said, you know what? You want to get to second base? You can get to second base on me. All you got to do is help me find my cat. And so she leads him off to this house, and it turns out it's a trap. And
of course.
She's leading him to supposedly his death.
Guys are so stupid.
He gets attacked, but he ends up he realizes it's a trap after he gets attacked, but he still helps her save the cat.
Okay. It's like stop thinking with the little head. Gotta think with the big head.
Well, it makes sense. It makes sense because he's basically been a loser his whole life, and so after in the first episode he gets killed, and that's how he becomes possessed by the demon that allows him to turn into chainsaws. And so
his face turns into a chainsaw.
Yeah.
Doesn't he have a dog that turns into chainsaw also? I'm sorry. I think I know.
The dog is in him.
The dog is
this
the demon.
Just sounds ridiculous.
The dog's a demon that's inside. That's right.
And I think the ridiculous.
The ridiculous part of this show, Laurie, is that it works.
That's what I'm talking about, but it's not. It's a good show.
I was like, if you guys are all watching and enjoying this, and his face turns into a chainsaw, there's something to it.
You've got to see it to believe it.
What do you see how it starts?
You know, but I've had people like try to not sell me on stuff and then sell me on it too, where they're just like, hey, if you could get through the first 30 seconds of Cyberpunk Edge Runners, you'll like it. It's just, it's way too crazy and over the top and chaotic. And I was like, that's what just sold me. What are you talking about? Like,
yeah, I think sometimes that's kind of like the intimidating part of somebody who isn't into anime is like sometimes just trying, like, what are you guys talking about? But with this one, I've read some of this and it's simple and stupid and very like, as long as you don't like, it's not part of reality. So it's very easy to understand where when you get into like, there's that one that I always talk about where the devil people eat the children. And then I have no clue still I've watched that thing 3 times. I still got shit idea what's going on in that thing. It's too hard to understand. But this one, it doesn't take much. It's a dude who wants to get laid, and he starts cutting people up with chainsaws. Pretty much.
He don't even want to get laid. He just wants to get to second base.
He just
whatever, dude. Come on.
So in this episode,
one thing leads to another.
He kills one demon, and then
immediately he's set upon by another one.
Yes, and then they come and they help him and they kill the other demon, and then Power is kind of a loose cannon, and so she has to move in with him and another guy from the agency. And what happens at the end of this is she goes, I owe you. She's like, what? She's like, I owe you 3 squeezes. And she gives the reasons for each squeeze.
And save the cat. Save the cat. Killed the demon and then saved her.
So she's like, you get 3 squeezes of my boobs. And he's
oh my
like,
God, is this serious?
And he's
I don't remember
like,
that part.
And he like drops to his knees, and he's like so excited and so discombobulated by it. He drops to his knees, and the episode ends. So now
that's why my friends don't like anime.
He gets to second base.
Correct me if this is wrong, if I'm wrong. But he chainsawed when Nathan said that's not true. He's got 1 on his head and like 2 on his arms, right?
No, it embodies him. His
face turns into a chainsaw motor,
right?
With a chainsaw sticking out between his forehead.
Yeah, there's people cosplaying this shit everywhere. Yeah.
And then he has his hands turn into chainsaws, and they kind of like Wolverine claws, but
it's like on the side part, right?
Through the middle of his hand on each arm.
And he just really starts killing shit with them, right?
Yeah.
It's like he's possessed almost.
Okay.
Well, he is.
This is what I remember. Not hard to understand what's going on. He's a little perv.
It is the best anime you can watch right now, except maybe Spy Family.
You had me at chainsaw face.
Yeah, no, I see. This is, I think, the problem with anime people. Stop saying except for this, except for that, or add on. Just go. Hey, there's a dude. He wants to grab devil's titties, and he he chainsaws people to death. Right. This is it. Yeah, I've seen this. And see, there's the dog thing. There's the dog demon with the chainsaw.
So
now though, you get the problem with you get people thinking Dragon Ball.
Hold on.
And like.
Hartman, go ahead.
You get people looking at like anime and they see it like, so an outsider will see Dragon Ball Z, One Piece. That's what they think anime is. Then when you in My Hero Academia, when you hear those, you don't think somebody's head turning into a chainsaw and slicing up zombies. You think Marvelish, like Marvel type, like not bloody, not gory, not like interesting, maybe not my cup of tea. But then you get shit like this. This is absurd, but it's good. And nobody knows how crazy it gets. They don't.
So like the anime, when I grew up, we used to eat at this noodle shop a ton, and they had all this anime, but it was like this stuff, not like what Dragon Ball Z's or whatever. I don't know what that stuff I never. But this is kind of more like the stuff, and this stuff is actually pretty fun.
Don't go too deep, Kyle. You'll be spoiling yourself.
Yeah. No, not on this channel. Go. Don't go too deep, buddy. But yeah, it's fun. It looks fun.
Dude, that's it. Look at that.
That's cool.
Look, he dresses nice. He's got a nice white shirt and tie.
Covered in blood.
Big supporter of bleach. Loves bleach. Get those things out.
All right.
Yeah.
Hydrogen peroxide.
Loving Chainsaw Man. Kyle, I'm so happy to hear you're loving Chainsaw Man, because that was my anime peer pressure on basically everybody on this channel.
Yeah.
But it is very good.
We already know the end of this story, right? Or we don't know the end of the story already?
I do.
Yes,
I do.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
you guys
in general,
don't.
you could find if you go on the interwebs, you can find the ending to the story. Okay.
No.
I mean, you shouldn't, but what I'm saying is it's out there. So don't spoil yourself if you're going to watch it. Yeah.
That's right. Don't go digging too deep into the lore unless it'll be great. And then
I was looking on Crunchyroll for the mangas because I wanted to read them. But it just kept, as I was looking on Crunchyroll, it just kept directing me back to the episodes. I couldn't find the mangas for it on Crunchyroll.
If you want the manga, you got to look up viz.com, viz.com.
Okay.
Crunchyroll is here in Texas, by the way. They're in Dallas.
Yeah.
The recording studio. So
I call that a rabbit hole. They need to take from Crunchyroll to a rabbit hole.
Oh.
Because you just get sucked into watching all kinds of cool
all the
stuff.
things.
That's what
I still don't think it's enough shows on there.
Well, I do think it's a bad name. I think it's also a bad name because I think when you say Crunchyroll, I'm like, okay,
it sounds like
order for dinner. Yeah, when am I going to order for dinner? I don't go like
comedians in cars.
I think the association of Japanese content. I think that's what they're.
Well, it's not working once again. So
I think it works.
Well,
not for normies.
That's
not for normies.
Very on point.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think it if you want to get. That's I think you guys were talking about like they try to convert stuff and everything else. Well, you're trying to make it mainstream eventually. I think you have to get into an audience that is willing to view the stuff.
That's what Disney wants. Disney's got their.
Oh, you can't sit there and complain about how.
No, you're not good.
You can't complain about how good the stuff is and nobody watches it and nobody pays attention to it if you don't want to sell out a little bit there, Hartman. That's just how the world works.
Chainsaw Man
everyone's watching Chainsaw Man.
No, I'm not. I'm saying that Disney,
Disney watch it. I get the servers logged down.
I'm just mad we got to wait a whole nother year before we get more Attack on Titan. Like, why does that need to take so long?
Did you watch Chainsaw Man while you're waiting?
I will have to.
They gotta sleep sometime.
All right. Also,
Sleep.
while you guys are waiting to find a series, we got the next WTF manga, Hip Whip Girl Keijo. This is a whole series based around girls bumping butts over water, like American Gladiators jousting. It's just,
let's hear them out.
Look, this is not where I'm not here to give you cultured content. Okay,
dude, your
Tell us
voice
more
just went
of
up
what you
5
love,
pitches,
Sam.
bro. It just went up 5 pitches.
I
Tell
was
us
going to
your
switch
hobby.
the screen to Marco going.
Somebody made an entire. It's like a battle manga, but it's just girls like bumping in their butts against each other, and then they made an anime adaptation of it. Of course they did.
Come on.
You see, this is why people don't take anime seriously. Because you came up with Chainsaw Devil, people. That sounds all right. Then you got girls bumping butts, and you sold it as
what I'm saying. Like it's
American Gladiator style.
I'm not here to say that this is a 5-star manga. I'm saying this is a WTF manga. Like, how did they make a series out of this?
I don't know.
Where did they find that? Oh, I forgot. Sex sells. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the cover.
Well,
it's a
been
giant
canceled.
ass.
Both the manga series and the anime series have ended. But
So now we're premiering a new. This is a new segment that Hartman and Sam came up with. It's called Anime Peer Pressure, where they each have to watch an episode of an anime, not the ones before it, not the ones after it, but only the one that they decide that they need to watch, and they're going to talk about it.
All right, so let me talk about the name first of all. So everyone, I saw this meme on Twitter one time, and the guy said, when I was in elementary school, I was led to believe that every person I ever talked to would be pressuring me to do drugs. He says, not one time in my entire life has anyone ever asked me to do drugs or peer pressured me to do drugs. But every day, someone is trying to peer pressure me into watching anime. And so that's where this comes up. So what Hartman and I are doing is we are offering one episode from any series, any anime series. The other one has to watch
shit out of the segment. I think we understood what the segment is. Let's go.
The other one has to watch it, and then we're going to review it. So
you gotta explain the rules.
I gave Hartman the assignment of Birdie Wing episode 3. What'd you think, Hartman?
I am not going to lie. I went and watched episodes 1 and 2, and I think I got 4 done too. I like it. It proves that they can turn anything into a story and make it interesting. Like,
so what is this about, Hartman?
Golf. It's about golf. Like, it's about basically a prodigy golfer makes money on the side doing golf stuff. Like Happy Gilmore meets let me see. Happy Gilmore meets a Marvel movie. Happy Gilmore meets a Marvel movie. It's like
is it like
she uses
what's that movie? The Greatest Game Ever Played?
No, it's like high stakes underground golfing, but then she tries to go mainstream. But her past
and everybody else is like, what the hell are you doing? She's like, what are you doing? And she's like just hitting the ball, not doing anything by the books. And everybody's like, I quit. Like, so you got her doing crazy stuff, being a badass. Kind of think that we could see some girl on girl action. Don't know for sure, but there is a lot of women in there.
Can I ask one question?
What's that?
Do they have the short 3/4 bald guy sweating with the like little accent sweats coming out both sides of his head?
It's
no
eyes bulging.
This is tasteful, Marco. Come on.
Oh, I'm sorry. And he just there might be some girl on girl
action. Yeah, it's like maybe there'll be some girl on girl action, but no, it's pretty tasteful.
Thank you.
No, I mean there's no guys. I don't think there are any. It's it's I think I might accidentally watch the wrong episode first, but I'm sitting because I'm sitting there watching this and I'm like, oh, wait a second, where am I at now? Like, so she's like competing against one chick and she's like, oh, I don't want to play her. She's different. And then she's all like in her head calling out bullet, silver bullet, while she's swinging and hitting the balls and breaking limbs and It's good. It's
BK. He watched 4, not 3. He didn't just watch 3.
I'm not really sold on this one. I gotta say.
I know Dude, I wasn't
underground
sold
golf
in golf.
brain. I like
Underground high stakes
Golf isn't up my alley.
It's underground golf.
But it's the motivation. It's the
motivation. We're not trying to get into that type, but the girl's got knee highs and there's a big mountain about to erupt behind her.
Oh,
But
yeah.
Okay, I
And
get
Well,
how
that's
we're
Mount
gonna
Fuji. That's a classic Japanese land.
But hey, I didn't question it. I did the job and I watched it.
Good job.
So.
And you liked it, right?
And I liked it.
Okay, did you like it because it's good, or did you like it because you're hoping for some girl and girl?
No, it was just the vibes I was getting. Like, there's a lot of connection between the characters, but no, it was good. It wasn't like crazy hentai stuff or like anything like that. It was suggested sexuality in it. Nothing like, oh yeah, they're doing that.
It's
it was
stringing them along,
they
in
would.
other words.
Yeah, it's basically like how they'd entice you to stay with the story.
5. Hopefully, it's in episode 6.
No, it's not. There's a.
That's why he watched 4 episodes. He watched 3 first, and then was like, "Wait a minute now."
No, it's just the storylines in general are good. You've got that character there's nobody's trying to take over the world, and there's no crazy evil villain that's come up yet. It's more of like a motivation to compete against somebody who's
they're
better.
not going to battle a giant robot with their golf
No,
club.
there's not going to be but there's going to be a lot of looking at the phone going, oh, she's incorporating this technique in her swing. She can't do this. There's no way she could do this on a par 4. And then she does it on a par 4. And it's like that. Like, you're like, how's she going to make this? What's a slice? Let me Google what a slice is. Okay, that's what a slice is.
Is there a female Shooter McGavin or anything?
No,
Hartman, can I ask
the
you a
mom
question?
and dad? I haven't seen much of them yet, but I have a feeling that there's going to be some play in there with the mother and father going against each other because they're both golfers.
Have you ever golfed before, Hartman?
No, never.
Okay.
I took training for like a week and didn't go back.
Yeah.
You guys got to remember, I put Hartman up to watching this series.
No. It was a good.
I'd never heard of it in my life.
This is a series that I
angry.
enjoyed, and I put Hartman up to watching it.
No, I liked it. It was a good review. All right.
Sam, you're like, haha, watch this about golf.
Yeah, that's what this episode's about, is the peer pressure.
He gives you a monster one.
Well, I don't like
You give him
drinking.
golf.
Take the shot of alcohol. Okay.
You're not going to make that par 3.
He didn't say par 3. He said par 4 because of the slice.
I gave Hartman this assignment specifically because it's an example of not judging a book by its cover.
Yeah. So what was your Sam?
My assignment was given to me by Hartman to watch Monster episode 37. Hartman described this to me as imagine if you were a doctor and you saved someone who turned out to be Hitler. I only watched the one episode. I didn't have time to go back and watch 1 through 36, so I did stick to just the one episode. And the episode started out with a storybook.
You followed the rules.
What's that?
So you followed the rules.
Yeah, the story starts out with like a storybook about a monster with no name, and then he meets a boy, and the monster basically inhabits a person to give them great power, but then in exchange, the monster eats that person from the inside out. And so,
yikes.
This monster goes about doing this kind of devouring of people, while at the same time, there's a boy in another village who is devouring people as well. And eventually, they meet, and the boy devours the monster with no name. And then the boy gives his name, which is Johann, which is the name of the villain of this story, of what's actually happening. And so I'm not sure how that relates exactly, but it seemed kind of, it did kind of put a chill down my spine that they were basically the same. And so we have a guy who presumably knows that Johann, the blonde in the picture on the bottom, is evil, and he's trying to snipe him from a distance, but he's not a killer. And so he's like shaking, and he doesn't end up pulling the trigger, and then he gets attacked. And It gave me a lot of like really political thriller vibes. And it was very fascinating. Now, the story is by Naoki Urasawa, who does these very intense manga series, seinen manga, like 20th Century Boys, Billy Bat, Monster. And he's got a series ongoing right now. It's escaping me right now, but they're very like emotionally intense thriller type stories. I enjoyed it. I didn't really understand a lot of what was going on, but it intrigued me enough that I am interested in seeing more of it. And I don't think this one is wrapped up yet, has it, Hartman?
Oh yeah, they were supposed to do a live action. The Guillermo del Toro was supposed to do the live action years ago, but that ended up falling through. I think HBO passed on it, but I was waiting for that and really disappointed. It was on Sci-Fi too, so.
Is it serialized or an anthology?
It's serialized, so it's like 50 episodes. Is that right?
No, it's over 70. I know that much.
Oh, okay. So anyway, look at. I think what we ought to do in the future, Kyle. I don't know if you're opposed to this, but we'll post the series, the episodes that are the anime peer pressure assignments. If anybody else wants to follow along and chat and give their opinion as well.
That's a good idea.
That's a good idea.
Okay.
I was lost on that one.
I'm glad Marco showed up when he did because it's first appearance time.
All right. What do we got?
Our first appearance our only first appearance that Matt put in was
good Lord.
The first appearance of
Fennec Shan
and
but it's all there's like three
other
ones. Yeah.
And I'm sure you guys are going to talk about this more tomorrow on the Star Wars.
We'll probably talk. No, we'll probably talk just about as much as this, and then we'll let Don talk for like 3 seconds, and then say yeah. But we know what's going to happen.
Who is this, and how are they going to be important?
Fennec Shan is the platonic girlfriend to the Mandalorian, who also shows up in Bad Batch. She's an assassin. She's ends up saving her life. Yeah, she's really cool. She's a badass. I can't remember the name of the actress that plays her, but
Mane Wang.
Yeah.
So in this episode, she is tasked with hunting down Mando because he's got Grogu, technically hunting down Grogu, but she gets shot by this other jerk. And this is also the book where, and as the episodes go on, we hear Boba Fett's spurs clinging in the background. So I don't know how you hear that in comic, but yep.
Cad Bane?
No. Boba Fett. Boba Fett's got spurs. Technically, Boba Fett when he walks, he's got spurs. So if you watch this episode of Mandalorian in Mandalorian season 1, when you see Fennec Shan at the end, because Boba Fett's the one that like does the heal up on her, right? So I said Boba Fett, Mandalorians. I mean Boba Fett's girlfriend. Boba Fett's the one that heals her up. He actually pulls her out of the desert. You see her on the ground dying. You hear his spurs in the background, and Boba Fett ends up picking her up instead of. And then they go to the speeder bike people that you see in the Book of Boba Fett, and that's the people that heal up Fennec Shan. So that's
Power
cool.
Rangers.
Yes, the Power Rangers. Yep.
The Power Rangers.
His assistant manager. Yeah, it could be the assistant manager. There's a weird relationship between them. I guess because Boba Fett's fat and really can't fight anymore. Then she has to do all the fighting. Right.
So, he did a lot of hiring in the show. I knew that.
Dom's going to get more into this tomorrow, I'm assuming.
I don't know. With these, I think he was really hyping, and then the first one, and then afterwards, since it's kind of old hat now because you know what's coming in the next one, and the next one, and the next one. Like it's almost panel for panel the actual show.
Yeah, it's shot for shot for almost.
Yeah, they don't add anything. There's it doesn't add. It's kind of disappointing. I mean, at least even when they did Thrawn, which was the adaptation of the book, it was they adapted it a little bit. When they did the Kanan series, there's something you didn't know. Same thing with Rebels, but this is shot for shot and quite boring as a matter of fact. So, and I don't know, but Dom will love it. Yeah, Boba Fett's assistant manager. Yeah. Sorry, I said Fennec, or I said Mandalorian. Right.
So now we're going to move on to our top 5 of the week. Hartman suggesting us our top 5 war movies.
Oh, I'm interested to hear what you guys think.
So we'll get started with that. Who's number 5 is this?
This is me.
Okay.
Good movie.
Force 10 from Navarone. This is it features a young Harrison Ford in one of the leading roles. I really enjoyed watching this movie as a kid, and whenever I think of war movies, this is always on the top of the list.
Never heard of it.
It features them. They're going to blow up a dam.
Sequel.
Yeah, it's kind of a sequel to the Guns of Navarone, but it doesn't feature any of the same characters.
Right.
Then number 4, I did 1917. I like this movie because it's very like the Odyssey. Like you have the soldier kind of moving his way through each of these very distinct places and interacting with very distinct individuals. And then it kind of dawned on me that was very much an Odyssey when he gets to...
The sun came up? It dawned on you and the sun came up?
Well, not just when the sun came up, but when the people are singing. And it reminded me of the Lotus Eaters because they're singing and he's kind of delaying and he remembers halfway through the song that he has to deliver a message. It's like, yeah, that's like the Lotus Eaters. They're eating their lotuses and just chilling and gobbling up time. And it's like, oh no, we got to get back. So I really enjoyed 1917. And then number 3.
Hold on real quickly before 3. The Navarone, that was the Mark's playset too, wasn't it? You're old enough to remember. And you're Canadian, right? Ish, can you hear me? No? Okay, sorry for interrupting, Sam.
Wait, it's a what?
Right,
playset?
What?
You talk about Mark's toys?
I don't know about the playset.
Wasn't it?
Oh.
6.
He's on a lifetime.
I don't remember that one, so I couldn't tell you.
Go ahead, Sam.
Toys, but I don't know. I'll have to look it up.
Number 3 was Hacksaw Ridge with Andrew Garfield, where he is the conscientious objector who actually enlists, and then he becomes a medic, and he's trying to, participate or help in the war effort without hurting anybody. And very emotional, very tense movie, in my opinion.
Has some really great scenes, like
that movie.
Building
The story is so crazy that they
shut up. You did not.
What the hell was that?
It was a sneak peek.
I messed up. My bad.
Dude, spoiler.
I know.
Right.
What were you saying, Ish? No, okay. No, number 2 is Jojo Rabbit.
I was going to say that his true story, he did so many heroic things in the reality that if they depicted everything, they felt the audience wouldn't actually believe that this was true. So they actually had to hold back on his heroism.
Right.
Dang.
Jojo
Week
Rabbit
late on that one.
What's that? Point of order?
No, I said Ish was late on that answer.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't remember the question.
Jojo Rabbit is, to me, the greatest depiction of the absurdity of war, and the absolute craziness that can happen. It has a really lighthearted tone. There's a lot of laughs, but there's also a lot of really dark moments in this movie, and it's ironic how they get kind of slapped together. One minute you're laughing your head off, then you're crying in the next one, and then you're laughing again. And it really brought out the absurdness or the absurdity of war. And that came from 2019, which was a great year for movies. And then finally, Tropic Thunder.
Yes.
I love this movie.
Would you call this a war movie? I mean,
yes, it is a war movie.
No.
They just didn't know they were in war.
That's a war movie. It's a movie.
They were all
It's not a
dedicated.
war movie. It's not.
It's a movie about a war. It's a war
It's a
movie.
movie about
a war
actors.
My jelly beans.
It's a war movie Inception.
I'm not saying it's a bad movie. It's a great
Call them out
movie.
some more on this bullshit because you're right. You are right.
When
They're
when
bullshit.
their director gives that like speech, he's just like, "We're gonna do this. We're gonna go together. We're
Agreed.
gonna blah blah blah," and then just like,
Then
shot.
steps on the mine. Boom.
You can first off, you said this whole list is cap. You put a fake ass movie up here that's not anything about war. It's about acting, faking a fucking not even a war, just fake fucking around.
It's a movie disguised as another movie.
Oh, good.
All right. So This is mine. So I have number 5, The Hurt Locker. This is just a great movie. I love this movie. I watch this movie every time it's on. Fucking Hawkeye does a great job in the movie.
Hawkeye.
I don't know his name. I just know
Jeremy Renner.
That's right.
Renner.
You got it. Jeremy
Told
Renner.
you.
Hawkeye and
with
Falcon
actors.
do a great job.
Yes, they're both
What?
in there.
Falcon's in there
Mackey's
too.
in it too.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
My number
Falcon
4
too.
is Red Dawn.
Yes.
Oh, I love Red Dawn.
This is a great movie.
Yeah.
How could this not be? Just that scene starts with the school. Oh man, yes. Number 3 is Full Metal Jacket.
That scene starts at. Okay, thank you for that. All right, go ahead.
This is a great movie. Even past basic training, this is still a great movie.
Yeah.
Number 2, Heartbreak Ridge.
Oh.
Wow.
I remember growing up, before I'd seen this movie, my dad would quote things from this movie. So like we'd be at work or something, and I'd do something really, what are you gonna do? Tilt nipple with a bunch of no-ring fuzz butts? And I was like, the fuck are you talking about? Just lines for this. All right, ladies, drop your cocks and grab your socks. It's time to go. You know, it's just one of those movies that's got quotable lines in it, and it's just, you know, Clint Eastwood's the gunny that could never move up because he's just a drunk and all over the place. Tropic Thunder is my number 1 as well.
Shut up.
Oh my lord!
You're supposed to look at the list before so that they don't duplicate.
Independence Day.
No.
What the? No. I let everybody
Independence
make their
Day?
own list. I let everybody make
list
their
is
own
this?
list. This is Hartman's list. His number 5 is Independence Day.
It's a war movie. Nobody said fiction or nonfiction. Ish said you could make a war movie about bread. So I'm like, all right. Almost put liar liar on
is our
here.
Independence Day.
There's a lot of saluting in Independence Day.
There is.
Yeah, and the stripper.
I guess it's more of a movie that Tropic Thunder. I guess. I mean.
Number 4
I mean, we all
is
What the?
There was a war at the end. There was a big war. All the guys were in it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean,
There's hardly any saluting in this movie, though.
Number 3.
Okay. There we go.
Patton.
There we go.
I just know he was a badass. Or was he?
Have you watched this movie?
No.
Yeah, I have. I
Oh.
didn't like
Put
the
it
way
on the
was
list.
filmed.
You read the Cliff Notes.
I just know I have the DVD.
Oh.
I haven't per se watched it, but I do have it.
Yeah, at least you got the DVD.
I hear it's
Hey,
good.
it is, you know, and ironically enough, an excellent choice. It's an amazing
See?
movie
He
written by
knows
Francis
it.
Ford Coppola.
It actually is good. No, it's actually a
I
really good
consider
movie.
putting
It
it
is.
on my
Okay,
list.
there we go.
Robin Williams.
Great movie.
Yeah, no, I considered it putting it on my list. It's an amazing.
It
great
doesn't need
classic
to
war
be
movie.
like Saving Private Ryan. I almost said Ryan's.
How come no one has had that on a list yet? That's what amazes me.
It might
I
come up.
don't know. It's one I
Saving
can
Private Ryan
watch.
depresses me.
If I see it, I'll watch it like all the time. It's just one of those.
They're too
movies.
busy
Like, I
putting
won't-
comedies on their list.
I
No,
know
I
it's
mean-
like Tropic Thunder, Saving Private Ryan.
It's
I
too
mean
depressing.
that's what I would have done in
Platoon.
his situation.
The River Kwai, Bridge over River Kwai. Like, where are these movies?
And
And
Tropic
Tropic
Thunder. You guys are all the same person.
That is like that's an amazing movie. And
No
it
wonder
makes
you're
Talkers.
no wonder everybody's defending it because everybody has is their number one fucking
I know.
movie.
so this is Matt's list. He's not here, but
I
his
don't,
runner-up
I don't
was-
need Marco coming in and crapping
telling
on my
us
list.
what a war
man.
movie is.
he said
Dude,
Full Metal
even
Jacket
your, hey,
is the
no,
one
no,
line.
no. Lori's
War
saying it too.
movie.
She's at least reasonable about this. I was gonna keep my mouth shut, but she's called bullshit. And I'm saying, yeah, it's bullshit. This is a terrible.
But I
list.
mean,
Well,
in
that must
Liar
be
Liar,
because
he
you're
had a
all
war
Michigan.
with
Give no
himself.
parameters.
That's
It
a
was
war
just
movie,
war movie.
technically.
So, his runner-up is only because the first hour, and then after that, you basically leave and shut it off, which I said that's not true.
God,
I've watched some more docs about that movie than I have that movie.
Glorious Bastards.
His number 5 was Inglorious Bastards.
Yeah, that
I
almost made
still
my
wouldn't
list.
say this is a war movie. I mean, it
How could you
is.
say-
Yeah,
They're
because
not
it's pure
actually
fiction.
war.
Well, at
Like,
least the ending is
they're-
pure fiction.
Okay, there we go.
He got the Patriot as number 4.
Watch that in
Good
school.
movie.
Middle
Soldiers
We
is
were
number 3.
soldiers.
Lethal Hatchet
Yeah,
5.
I like this one.
There it is.
There it is. Saving Private
Saving
Ryan. All right,
Private
someone's got
Ryan.
it.
And his number 1, Tropic Thunder.
No.
Forrest Gump.
No.
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump's a war movie.
Marco, where do
Sure
you
it is.
find these
Forrest
guys?
Gump.
He goes
He's
to
a
war, but
veteran.
Whose list is this? Is
Running
this
and
Sticks?
No, no, please.
This was Matt.
Matt's.
Oh, this is
It
Matt's.
didn't
It's
send the
Matt's
list,
list.
so I didn't put it on.
I mean, there's war in the movie?
Life is like a
I
box
mean,
of
look at
chocolates.
it.
Some pieces have war in them, and a lot of them don't.
There's more
The
war
war
in this
against
one than in
autism, yeah.
Endgame, I guess.
Oh, that might have just summed up this whole fucking segment.
All right, so I think now we got Ish.
Okay.
Even
Pretty
Tropic
strong.
Thunder has more.
No, it does not.
So we've already discussed Saving Private Ryan. You've got Glory.
Oh, I like
Ah.
All
that.
right, so I made
Different war, but great.
Yeah, there we go. That's a good one.
That's you, Broderick.
Glory. That's one of my favorite movies.
Oh, Fury.
Denzel
I want to include
Yeah.
movies from like different wars. There's
Fury
Yeah,
is
sure.
an excellent movie
This
too.
one is
Like
a-
that
this
one
is a
had me in the
standout, a real
feels,
standout.
man. Great
Fury is one of the
movie.
most realistic. Yeah, the sheer realism of this movie, it's a very visceral experience from the director of Suicide Squad.
Really.
Though that probably doesn't help with a lot of people.
No, it
Yeah,
doesn't.
David
But I
Ayers.
mean,
I'm a big
like
fan
this,
of his
this
work.
was a
One.
fabulous
He
movie.
does movies like this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, kind of fucked in the
Dark
head.
movie.
Deer Hunter. Oh my god.
That Rambo?
That's De Niro.
The Deer Hunter.
Yeah.
This is like
Yeah.
like as far as war movies go, this is like The Godfather. Just the way it's
Yeah,
filmed,
yeah.
the way they tell the story, and then it has this ending that just fucking socks you right in the gut. This is an epic
Like
movie.
Tropic Thunder.
One of my favorites.
Stop.
Also be like a young cast,
fan
like
of
a young Meryl Streep, young Christopher Walken, John Cazale, Robert De Niro. Yeah, if you guys have never seen The Deer Hunter, it is a classic.
Mm.
It's too far. I don't think I've seen
They
this
never
one.
get to it.
This is
And
one
Sean
I
Connery?
saw as a kid and just
Gene Hackman?
yeah, the cast in this movie is unreal. If you just read the cast list off, let me pull it up real quick.
Yeah, yeah.
This
Sean
is a
Connery,
movie
Gene
that
Hackman, and then
It is about
coined a
the
phrase.
operation that took place after D-Day, yes, and it was actually a failure. So it's a war movie about the Allies that does not. It's got Sean Connery, Michael Caine, Anthony Hopkins, Robert Redford, James Caan, Gene Hackman, Elliot Gould, and the list keeps on going. Then a bunch of like international superstars too, playing all like
wow.
the
I haven't
Germans
seen
and
this
stuff.
one.
Great movie, I
Sounds
love
like
it.
Haji.
Great music. It's one of those classic ones. And yeah, it took the place of stuff like Bridge on the River Kwai. I had a hard time deciding on that. Yeah, no Star Trek. But it was like this or Bridge on the River Kwai. I went with this just because it's a childhood favorite. I love this one.
Bridge over
I like
the River
MASH,
Kwai.
too.
You know, and I know it's not a movie, but the HBO series A Band of Brothers
Yeah,
was
it's really good.
hands down one of the best things I've ever seen.
Yeah, definitely that counts. And then there's The Longest Day. I don't know if you guys ever seen that. That's kind of like A Bridge Too Far. You read the cast on that, and that's like a who's who.
He
of,
just
like, the
goes
1940s
Band
and
of
50s
Brothers.
Hollywood.
Yeah, that counts. No
Hollywood
shit, that
movies.
counts when we got Tropic Thunder count for shit.
Well, it's not a movie, so
No,
It's
Band of
not
Brothers
technically a
is
war
like
movie 'cause
that's
it's not a movie,
definitely
it's a
war
counts.
movies.
Oh, it's a series.
It was-
yeah.
I mean,
Amazing.
Handmaiden's Tale could be then considered.
Thunder.
That
Of
was
course, Gump.
We're not real sticklers for the rules around here,
I
Mark.
guess not.
I guess not. Since you
We
aren't,
play
I'm going
very
to talk.
loosely here.
Since you aren't, I'm going to, instead of asking you the question if that's a Mark's toy set, I'm going to tell you it is a Mark's toy set. And if you ever find it, including original box, and all 320 pieces, you should probably pick it up, especially if you find it for under $200, because they usually go for roughly $650 to $800.
Nobody had Platoon in there. Yeah, that's what I was amazed.
Platoon wasn't there either.
Yeah,
Born on the 4th of July.
Born on the 4th of July. Two choices.
I left Platoon out for a reason, and the next segment will show why I left 2 certain movies out.
Because it's gonna be in your war.
Yeah, we're gonna do. So we're gonna do movie war. So movie war, just to let everybody wrap it up. A Nightmare on Elm Street won hands down for the entire month of October. It didn't matter what freaking movie I put up against it. A Nightmare on Elm Street won in the chat, and it won on the polls.
Nice.
So, but to keep with our top 5, I did 2 war movies. I'm going to do Platoon versus Apocalypse Now.
Oh, shit.
Should have been Tropic Thunder.
Okay. And that's the reason why I
snap!
Top 5, because I think this was probably going to be one of. I think this is going to be a tight-knit race between.
It's got to be
two
Apocalypse
movies.
Now, right?
I don't know. Platoon.
Yeah.
Such an iconic movie.
Really?
You don't think so?
Iconic.
Everybody
No, I
knows
think they're
that
both
image.
are just thinking like some of us smell it.
Both are S tier.
That Rocky.
Yeah, I know. But then Apocalypse Now, the smell of napalm in the morning.
Yeah, it's
you
so
know
many
what I mean?
quotable. That's what
And
I'm just
then
thinking. So many more
Brando.
quotable things off of. That's why I think it's going to win. I mean, both are great movies. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying.
So
Just Marlon
Nice.
Brando.
That's a good one.
So my vote is Apocalypse Now. It was hard. It was like it's like barely.
Yeah.
It's like 40-60. You know what I mean? It's
Carmen.
That's the other one. I was like, nobody.
That would be amazing if he
Tropic
goes in. The winner
Thunder.
is Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sometimes it comes down to both these movies are on TV. Which one are you watching?
I've
And I
seen
would
neither
pick
of them.
Apocalypse Now.
I'm probably going to
Even
watch
though you've
Apocalypse
seen
Now.
both of them.
Tough call.
I would watch Apocalypse Now.
Well, you know, does it translate on TV? There's that eerie part where in the river in Apocalypse Now.
dude, that's like the best part. Do you remember that cartoon Eat the Cat?
Well, I'm saying, do they show that? Does that stuff get
That's
cut
like
out just
half
because
the
they want to
movie.
short down
Is
time?
them on the river.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
that?
But that cartoon Eat the Cat, they did a whole Apocalypse Now rendition of it, and
Wasn't it called Eek-pocalypse Now?
Yeah. And he's on the front of the river thinking and shit, and it's awesome. But yeah, so it looks like, let's see, Apocalypse Now. Your mom says Platoon. BK is saying Apocalypse Now.
We'll put it up in the poll for the week, sure, too, on the channel. So make sure you guys check that out. Get your double votes in. We can't actually tell who votes for it, so.
Which is I love it because it's not like 10 or 11 votes. I mean, it's like 70, 100 votes. It's awesome that we get so many people engaged and making sure to vote.
We really appreciate everybody that's voting for this stuff.
Is it on the Twitter? Where's the poll at?
We do it
on the YouTube community.
Yeah, on the YouTube community page.
So now we move into.
You know, I omitted both those movies from my top 5 list because I just figured it would show up on other people's lists because it's.
Yet everybody chose Tropic Thunder somehow.
That's why I was so confused. I was like, "Has nobody seen Platoon
everyone
or
was Tropic
Apocalypse
Thunder.
Now?"
And there was no love for Michaela's
them
Navy.
all by
And only
list
2
on
of us
purpose
picked
because it was my movie
Ryan,
war.
so it's like.
ATK.
Liar was going to go on my list.
Liar.
The war
Now
with
we have
himself.
Saturday morning cartoon wars.
Yeah, I think it was a war.
So last week it was The Tick versus Darkwing Duck.
I voted for Darkwing 6 times, so I hope it won.
Dude, everybody voted for Darkwing Duck. Dude, it fucking crushed it.
Yeah. I mean,
So
Tick
now
is
we have
okay.
Why
with
people think voting is rigged.
Now we have Darkwing Duck versus Gargoyles.
Oh, can I change my war movie list to include
all the
Gargoyles?
way. That episode where that lady got shot, that was nuts.
That was a good one. You can watch.
They're bringing back
both of
both these
these
comic
on-
books too.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You can watch both of
Gargoyles,
these on
that's
Disney
dark.
Plus right now.
TK
Hartman,
said
I take it you never
Gargoyle.
watched Gargoyles before?
No, there's some
Gargoyle.
serious
Both have
dark
comic
tones
books,
in there.
Kimber, from Dynamite Entertainment.
No, there is. Yeah, there's.
Yeah.
What's that? Yeah. Good stuff. No, yeah, I think I have to go with Gargoyles too.
Yep.
Darkwing Duck's
Gargoyles.
okay, but it's no Gargoyles.
I think
Yeah.
Gargoyle is going to take it.
I can't wait till you guys say it's because of the sexy gargoyle lady that's in it. That just
Desdemona.
No, speaking with the wrong brain again.
So
but it's,
remember the
three
vote-
guys just named her by name down there. By the way,
Desdemona or no Demona?
I can't
Right here.
remember.
Gargoyles, like the
Maybe
entire
it's
cast
Demona.
was in Star Trek at some point.
Were they really?
Yeah, the voice the main villain is voiced by Jonathan Frakes. The gargoyle, the female gargoyle, who's also a villain, is voiced by Marina Sirtis. They do get what's his name? Michael Dorn is the brother of the main gargoyle. So yeah, they get a lot of the Star Trek Next Generation cast in there.
Eric, if you
funny
watch
how
like
that
the
happens.
if you watch the first 3 of Gargoyles and probably the first of Darkwing, you can get the feel for both series. Pretty fun. It's on
Okay.
Disney Plus, just for those people who haven't seen it. Gargoyle.
So the next
Actually, I haven't
is
seen
my
Yeah, funny.
it's the prelude to the what the fuck,
Where's my drum pad when I get it?
the WTF segment, but my first one of this segment is it's my shout out to Machine Gun Kelly, which I hate, but him and Megan Fox,
Name
Megan Fox.
music.
they dressed up as Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee, and in
God.
true fashion,
Shut
he's
up.
snorting some coke off of her boobie. So
Classic.
I'm giving a shout out to he's a lucky fella. Not only is he getting to do some nose candy, he's also doing it off.
That's
of
her
Fox.
knee. We've seen that trick.
Okay. All right.
And my next shout out is to Heidi Klum for before she started getting ready for her iconic Halloween costume. She gave us the first. It's the first step in her Halloween prep.
And skip
She
the
had
last.
the weirdest, most
Like-
grotesque Halloween costume I've seen.
What
What was she, a tapeworm?
She
Yes.
was a worm. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Harvey Weinstein. Now show
So
it.
Gross.
You click.
So I had to give a shout out to her, given the first prep in her Halloween costume.
Are we seeing what she showed up as?
Sausage party.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Wait, where's the costume? We didn't get to see the costume?
Nobody
I went to
cares.
You got to show the Harvey Weinstein costume.
Dude, what is
No, it was
this
disgusting.
segment, Kyle?
It was like
All right,
human
keep
centipede.
going.
The segment is it was asked for in the chat of a Hot Girl of the Week segment. So now I'm giving them one.
Did you ask for it in the chat, in your own chat?
It was requested.
Hi.
I don't remember who
The chat,
requested it.
generally.
By you?
Oh, I
Okay, all right.
I've seen the costume.
Yeah, I want
That's the prize for
This
people
is-
who
this
made
is me,
it this
right?
far into the
Uncle
show.
Haji.
Okay, so
What is
this
this
is
guy
the
ate
what the fuck
roadkill?
segment of the week. Hartman, take it away.
Uncle Haji. This man was the dirtiest man in the world. And he was eating roadkill, smoking animal poop, hadn't bathed in 60 years. Well, his village talked him into bathing, and he dies 4 months after.
It
And
washed
I
away
think
his
that the bathing
protective
killed him.
coating.
Yes, it did.
I think
He had developed-
he was so consistent, and that was his goal in life, being consistent. He liked finishing series on TV. That was his thing. And not bathing was his thing that he was doing. And he had it going for so long. And they bathed him, and he died 4 months later.
They took
And
away
I
his
can't
protective
say
crust.
He
I
had
don't think it
actually
had
died
there was
months
something
ago.
there.
He had actually died months
But
ago
he-
with just basically animated dirt.
Yeah. They didn't realize they were.
Are you trying to tell me he was like a giant mech robot for
So he was a character in your story,
like a mummy, you know,
being
he was
driven
walking
by
around.
microscopic little things living in the dirt.
Oh, dude, that's
like
awesome.
the
These are
biggest
just what I
animal
imagine
tank.
his life being
If he
like
was a zombie
with
from
Snoop
your
Dogg
book,
and
Laurie.
on this jet.
He was the first one. See?
These are just what I picture his life being like before the bath. And
I like that he's.
I was gonna
I
put
like
a
that he's
casket.
smoking with Snoop Dogg there. Is Snoop
What?
Dogg also?
Smoking animal
Smoking
poop?
shit.
He's token.
Why?
He's token animal poop.
Dude, smoke something better than that. There's other choices.
Oh, I
Why
guess.
choose
I
that?
guess
live
Jankum
action
is a thing.
Poop emoji.
Especially if you're with Snoop Dogg, you don't think that he
That
supplied him with something
Snoop Dogg
better
was
than
not
dog
like that,
crap?
dude. It's edited in.
So here's a little factoid.
My
Do you
photoshopping
know
skills are
what it is.
awesome.
They're top notch.
They're awesome. That's awesome.
I give it a factoid here. Do you know what the overwhelming fear of bathing, cleaning, or washing is known as?
What is it?
The dirtiest man,
Lavophobia?
Uncle Haji.
It's a blutophobia.
A blutophobia.
Dirt fetish.
That's
Dude,
the fear.
that's such a good idea, though. Having the little microbes.
Well, he
Like,
blew to his last
Not
breath.
be a real person. That's kind of.
But that is the fear of. They say most people who have that fear are between the ages of 7 and 11.
We don't even turn monetizing on this show, guys. Let's be real. We don't.
We
There was
have
nothing
a
done on
warning
this
at the
show
beginning.
that was
It's a discretion.
demonetized.
When you start your show with a discretionary warning,
Yeah. It usually
Yeah.
is.
it was like we've been flipping knives and swearing, and
I could have
who knows
spent
what
hours
else.
on that photo.
That's great.
Oh, which one?
Okay, we'll pat you on the back, Hartman. You did a great job with the Photoshop.
The photo was good. I said it was good. It fooled
It
a couple
was.
people, man.
It was great.
Good job.
You're gonna
All
have
right,
to
that's-
send me links.
I had one of them picking roadkill up and dragging it.
Aw.
You know what I
Neat.
picture is like, what's his name? He was in the after the deer got hit. He was inside the deer before he got. Freddie got
Ace
fingered.
Ventura.
You know what I'm talking about? Freddie got fingered.
Oh my god.
Whoa, whoa! You can't
Oh,
say
yeah.
that.
It's the name of a movie, man.
It's a movie.
You never seen Freddie
I
got
don't
fingered?
know. Oh
Pretty
man!
good. Yeah, I almost put it on my best top 5 war movie list.
Along with Driving Miss Daisy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Starship Troopers would have been a great movie.
Yes.
There you go.
I'm glad we're
That's
setting
pretty
the
graphic.
standard.
I was thinking that's the best. That's my favorite war movie in like a sci-fi genre setting.
Sci-fi war movie. Yeah, sure.
I love how they had like the fake
sci-fi.
commercials. Like,
That's
did you
true,
know?
right.
Yes, Neil Patrick Harris was awesome in it.
Yes. But then they had the
is-
vagina
yeah,
bug.
that is
It was
a great-
What the
great
fuck am I
movie.
looking at with this giant bug?
I've got to Google
What?
that.
The what? The what did you just say?
Vagina bug.
You heard me.
Vagina bug.
It's a.
You did just say
You
that.
got
Oh,
it.
safe search
Have you
off.
seen Starship Troopers? The one that eats the
Oh,
brains.
Yeah. Of course, I've seen Starship Troopers.
The
That
one
was
that eats the
awesome.
brains.
Oh yeah, the female.
Getting a lot
you're
of
right.
Pornhub links. Vagina bug.
Yeah, I don't know what she's.
See,
She's on that Crunchyroll watching that type of stuff. I don't know.
No.
Do you
Marco
have
watches Star Trek Troopers, but not Friends.
This is
What's
true.
that?
Friends.
Have to watch that show.
I've never
on my
seen Friends
watch
before,
list.
but I have seen Starship Trooper a bunch of times. It's good. It's funny.
Dude, I watch it every time it's on. It's a great movie.
It's so
Great
good.
I like that
Hey,
Smelly
Who's like-
Cat song.
We doing
What? What am I doing? What's
all
this?
right. Dodgeball report.
We're doing a dodgeball
So-
report.
Lori,
The
and
manliest sport in the world.
This is the
And
craziest show I've
Speaking
ever
of
been on, by
vagina
the way.
bugs,
Oh, don't worry about it. Oh yeah, it's batshit crazy. It used to be a lot crazier too. We've actually toned it down.
I thought my show was crazy. You guys are
No,
nuts.
this show's shit crazy. Yeah.
All right. So this week
Ouch.
we had so many people at Dodgeball. We had to split up into 2 courts. We had
Dang.
16 people, so we split up into 4 teams of 4. The first, I thought this was going to be a highlight for me because I ended up taking out 3 different guys, and then I left the last guy, and he picked us all off in in a 30-second match here. So if you're 3 out of 4 against Ted isn't enough, you got to get all of them.
Sounds like you got to get Ted first.
When you're using the metal balls.
Yeah.
So yeah, does anybody else think that actually is like, does anybody else think that actually like you die? This looks like you guys are in a basement in concrete enclosure.
Yes, that's what I said.
Ever play week after
week. It's like an indoor volleyball court. You guys,
there's it's not like a handball court. It's not like this is literally in somebody's basement. It's like that. What was that fish game or whatever they're called? What's the game on the Netflix show everybody likes?
Squid Game.
Squid Game. This is like Squid Game, and there's a couple people dead after it.
We're so making a knockoff Squid Game called Fish Game.
What happens when you Americanize Squid Games?
Fish
so
game.
This is
they don't actually die. They just get
outdoor racquetball
ruin everything.
Local high school.
Is it?
Yeah.
So this is back to
that's
this
outside though. That's crazy.
This is what I was talking. We're gonna, since we're searching the internet, we're gonna do this for a second. The set that I was talking about when we were talking about Navarro, like that bridge to Navarro, there actually is a Mark's Toys set in it. You can find it. If you find it in this box,
we were all clueless.
Yeah. So it comes with all the this isn't even a full set right here, but it comes like there's like over 100 different guys with it. It comes with tanks. Either way, if you could find this box, this tower, just the box and the tower, and a couple of these green guys, it's worth a decent amount of money. Just so everybody knows. Like I usually sell a couple of years ago. When I was buying complete sets and stuff like that, I was selling them for $350 with open boxes. That was before pandemic. I can only imagine like they can go as high as like $800 depending on condition and stuff like
Marco, you got to rewind your tape, man.
Imagine if we didn't play with our toys when we were little.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah,
Rolling
thanks, Sticks. Showing the same thing. Yep, that's it. But it comes in like a red box. If you could find it, do it. Oh, I'm sorry. This is what you're doing. You're trying to get the thing up for Dodgeball so we can give donations. Okay. My bad.
Like you're ruining my spiel.
My bad. Sorry. Go ahead.
Well, we still got the GoFundMe, but the real winner is the shirts. You guys, you don't have to give money for free or get nothing in return. We also got shirts. Make sure you check out the Triple D Dodgeball .creator/ spring.com.
How much are the shirts?
Your Triple D shirts. What's that?
How much are the shirts?
They range between $25 and $30.
Let's see these shirts. What do we got here?
Adult onesies on yet?
What's that?
Adult onesies.
We have toddler onesies. We don't have adult onesies.
Well,
but
the
way that it's set up is kind of weird. It just
hey,
singlet.
I want what Mark was drinking.
This is our most popular design, but there's 6 total designs. Second most popular is the one you see on the left there, Kyle, with that one right there. Yeah, it's our second most popular, and then this one was designed by Adonis Blake. I don't know if you guys know Adonis Blake. He designs.
Adonis.
He designed our MCM logo.
Yeah,
he did. Yeah, when we were on MCM.
I know Adrian Adonis.
I just want to know somebody named Adonis.
He's really
I think it's a porn star name.
Sounds like it.
Well, they're all related.
Jason Adonis.
But Adonis is part of our dodgeball league, and he did us the big solid and
not that porn.
Designed that logo and also the one next to it regarding going to Italy, and that's what the big goal is we got invited to participate in an international dodgeball tournament next summer in Italy.
This is Adonis right here.
Yeah, there's Adonis. He's
there's
right next to Corbin.
Next to Corbin.
And we got invited to go to Italy, and that's what we're raising money for. Most of us are covered in our own way, but we've got a bunch of handful of high school kids who need a little bit of help. So that's all we're asking for.
What's your
how much do you make off the shirts?
$10.
That's not bad.
At most. Some of them we make $6.
Right. So the $30 shirts should make $10.
That's right.
Yeah, that's fair.
This is a pretty mild show, everybody.
Thanks for letting me plug the dodgeball stuff. Thanks, Kyle.
Always.
You got my GoFundMe link up?
You got one too,
Just be
Harvin?
me.
Harvin has a GoFundMe for a camera.
Camera, like a guitar too. No, just for fun. I'll get the link up next week.
Yeah.
Where did Marco go?
You had important stuff to do. It's important.
Said, your mom says I still open my toys to play with them, and it drives Ish nuts.
That's true. That's true. She took out the fucking super rare Moon Knight pop out of the box, and our dog ate it.
Oh no,
that was not.
Oh no.
So you're gonna have to put her down and get counseling for the dog.
Marital distress.
Yes. Been waiting for a joke to throw that in there.
You got anything, Marco?
No. We're discussing which should draw more traffic for our thumbnail tomorrow. That's what we're doing.
Lori, why don't you plug all your stuff one more time for us so everybody can go find it?
Hello, I'm Lori Calcaterra. I'm the writer-creator of Path of the Pale Rider. It's a Western apocalypse where the dead don't die, and Clint Eastwood is our main character. Not really. He just kind of looks like him. But you can find me all over the place. I'm on Facebook. We have a group called Path of the Pale Rider. That's where all the shenanigans happen. So I post updates there the most. We play games. We do riddles. We do sneak peeks. It all goes to the Facebook group. We're also on Instagram. It's at Path of the Pale Rider with an underscore between all the words. I also have that same handle on TikTok where I upload pictures, art, and also more shenanigans. I'm also on Twitter at Path Pale Rider. If you are interested in pre-ordering issue number 2 or ordering a copy of issue number 1, you can do that off of my webpage. It'll send you right to the PayPal. I think they're like the $15 for the pre-order and then like $6 for shipping. I still have availability to order t-shirts for the second batch. So if you're interested in some merch, there is some opportunity to do that. So hop on that before I get the Kickstarter money and I start ordering things, because then I can't order anymore. Yeah, come and play along for the shenanigans. Solve the riddles. Watch the videos. You can participate in a future video if you want to. But yeah, come along for the ride. We got all sorts of fun stuff to do, and it's a good time. You can play the Choose Your Own Adventure book like we were 8 years old again, and that's fun. So lots of gruesome deaths and shenanigans.
Lori going the distance on the podcast today.
Yes.
Wow. Way to go.
I had fun with you guys. I have never seen a more random show. Speaking of shows, I also host a show on Tuesdays called the Tuesday Morning Brew on the Comic Related Madness Network. So if you're interested in indie comics and stuff, I host a group, and it's just a bunch of creators. We talk about everything and nothing. We don't have like things that come on the screen and talk about crazy things. We just talk about the crazy things. But we'll have guests and stuff on the show too. So that's on Tuesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern. It's about a 2-hour show, and that's about it.
Cool. We'll link that below also for you.
Yes, if you want to put the link in the private chat, I can drop it.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can go pull the channel off of YouTube. Well, that would be helpful.
Mm-hmm.
My keyboard would work.
While she does it, make sure you check out all our stuff. We'll have it linked below. Make sure you check out Sam's Dodgeball fundraiser. Let's do that.
Yeah, do that.
Tomorrow, of course, we've got Tales from the Dark Side. So we will have that 9:15 Eastern Standard Time. We've got all the other great shows. Hidden Gems is coming back too. We should have another special guest coming up shortly, Kyle, right? Did we do some in Baltimore to get somebody to come on?
Yes.
Okay, good chat. Good chat. Okay.
I think the Hive Boys are going to start joining us.
Uh-oh. That's going to be trouble having the Hive Boys back on this.
Oh, man, I'm excited.
Really?
I had a chat with James the other
coming
day,
back.
and he's super excited to come on the start talking indie comics with us. I'm excited to have James and Jonathan come back and get into mayhem with us.
Yeah, you should have Lori come back too to enjoy that train wreck that's going to happen.
I like train wrecks.
as many Saturdays as she possibly humanly can.
She's more than welcome to come back anytime. Yeah,
Cool. I have fun. I usually play with knives on my show too. So
there you go. But also too, so we've got the other live show. We've got the Wednesday. We've got the tax show. We have got
this week on TAC.
What's on this week on TAC? I don't know because we don't do the TAC show. We don't start the TAC show till she's not looking. Not such a good point.
Sorry, I'm trying to pull the link. I'm looking now. Hey, you got knives?
Trying to compare so the Wednesday TAC show will have something
like the Joker over here with knives on the ground.
We got all types of good stuff going on. Make sure you're checking out our regular stuff. Make sure you check out her stuff. We'll link everything below. Hopefully she'll be back.
I got a blade too.
Please clean up whatever that was about watching 1 episode or 4 episodes. I gotta say, Hartman's review at least was better. Sam goes, yeah, I think it's good, but I'm not quite sure. Those are toenail clippers, or do you clip your nose hair with those, Kyle? I see you clip your nose.
Have you ever heard of poop scissors?
No, stop.
Anybody else got anything to plug?
Sticks, got anything?
I got nothing.
I know Ish has got a con coming up.
Yeah, we got if you live in Arizona.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Old Man Scottsdale Comic Con 2 weeks from today in Old Town Scottsdale, Arizona, hosted by Fantastic Worlds Comics. So if you're in the area, come stop by and see us. I also want to just some quick breaking news. Ovechkin broke Gordie Howe's record tonight for goals scored.
No, he didn't.
For one franchise.
Nobody's talking to you.
And then they lost to the Coyotes.
Nobody cares. Get out of here.
Tell us more about Star Trek.
I would request from the Arizona peeps, someone go to Santa Claus and take a picture and send it to me because
now there's a Santa Claus.
We might have to go there for thresholds.
This is gonna shut off. You're gonna cry about.
I'm going to.
Kyle, we didn't plug thresholds.
Oh yeah.
Don't
forget, we've got our other podcast, Sam and I do, Thresholds of Reality. This week we had on the hosts of, what are they called again?
That's some crazy shit podcast.
And they were a lot of fun to talk to. It was almost like talking.
It was like
because
it's like a double date, is what it was like.
It really was. It was like the reason they came together to do the podcast was the same way. I'm the one who sees the ghosts. Sam's not. Same thing with them. They have one that says all the ghosts. The other one doesn't. It was a really fun, and I get to go on their show, which I'm really excited to go. They just didn't send. Did they send the link for it?
They didn't
Sounds
send
like
it
they ghosted you, bro.
So they go. Ooh, badoop. Good one, Marco. They ghosted me.
We are doing a draft, a Star Wars key investment draft tomorrow. So it's probably gonna be a debacle and fail, but that's what
I have bone spurs.
Hold on. Didn't you say no games?
I did. So that's why it's gonna be a disaster.
So
Don't worry.
You're going.
Oh
my God.
This is why I hate doing them because he already started. He's like, you get it, dude. Just I don't know why everybody gets all worked up. Nobody's playing for real money. So.
Yeah.
So what are you saying about Doctor Who?
Oh, and I got to plug.
Doctor Who was good.
I got to plug Absolute Geek Friday nights, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. Matt's not here.
Yeah, don't forget about Absolute.
Does anybody know how to end the show? Somebody end the damn show.
Jazz hands.
I was waiting
for
the
No.
Do you guys have an extra?
Hit the
you guys
outro.
Don't have an X out?
We do.
Yeah, we do. I was just here.
It's a quick draw.